Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 11 is in the books, and what a wild Week 11 it was in the NFC West. Two showdowns between four teams within the division, including a game that wound up shaking out the top spot, and a new team currently sits atop the mountain. We'll see if they can remain there. We'll also talk about the return of Brock Purdy, a dominant performance over a divisional foe. We'll recap everything we saw in Week 11. And, of course, on the back half of the episode, we'll take a look at Week 12, giving you our previews and predictions. So without further ado, let's bring in the fellas. Brando, Jake, Jesse, and Mike, I missed you guys. So good to see you. 1 week gone is 1 week too long. That goes for everybody in the chat. So good to see everyone. So good to see you four. And I got a feeling the spirits are super high for my man on the top right and my man on the top left. The question is, where do we begin tonight? I'm trying to kind of figure out the idea behind where I want to start, but I think I got to start with the 49ers because Jesse last week, I tuned into the show, did an extraordinary job holding it down in here. It's not easy keeping these guys at bay. I don't know if you know that in the chat. It's not easy manning the ship here on the NFC West Roundtable. Jesse did that very well. And his San Francisco 49ers, they manned the ship quite well over the Arizona Cardinals. 41-22 in Brock Purdy's return. And what a prolific return it was. 19-26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. George Kittle, his best game back off the injury, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was happy to have Brock Purdy back. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Arizona Cardinals, led by Jacoby Brissett, 57 pass attempts in this game, over 450 yards, 2 TDs, but it went along with 2 picks, and they wind up getting nearly doubled up by the San Francisco 49ers. I'll start with the victor in this one. I'll start with you, Jesse. A big W for your 49ers, who are now 7-4 with Brock Purdy back, and I got a feeling a lot of those people who might have wanted Mac Jones to ride it out were looking at this game saying, hold on, if we're going to get this version of Brock Purdy, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape moving forward here.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely had that take. I had the take, which pissed a lot of people off, which is, what did Brock Purdy do that Mac couldn't have in this game? A lot of short field opportunities. Let's not forget that Mac Jones had just done a phenomenal job the week prior against a much better Rams defense that we saw go ahead and fold up Sam Darnold. We'll get to that a little bit later. But ultimately, the 49ers, big-time win. And when I look at the 49ers this year, they've played up to competition. They've played down to competition. And this is the first week outside of that Atlanta Falcons week where they just steamrolled their opponent, an opponent that was far inferior to them. And it started out literally from the opening kickoff. 49ers take the ball, 98 yards, first offensive play, CMC touchdown. 49ers are off and rolling. They never really looked back. And ultimately, this was a game that in all 3 phases, they dominated. Special teams, big-time returns, defense forcing 3 turnovers. Offense looked extremely good. Christian McCaffrey ran the ball well. Brock Purdy did also look very good himself. George Kittle looked good. So ultimately, the 49ers did what they needed to do. This was a game that they had to win. And I also want to say this. Listen, the Arizona Cardinals were down players themselves. But this is a division game. I don't ever take the Arizona Cardinals lightly. The 49ers always seem to find a way to stumble against the Arizona Cardinals when they shouldn't. So the fact that they came in and beat the brakes off of them, that is something that we should be happy about. And the 49ers have an interesting game coming up that I know that we'll get into a little bit later. But, you know, the Carolina Panthers, they're fighting for a playoff spot. This could be a game that could decide some things down the stretch. So it's certainly a must win. But I got to ask Mike, and we'll turn it to him and get his perspective here in a second. But I got to ask you, Mike, you talked about potential firing of your head coach and how they're moving on from Kyler Murray, and you really wanted to see the rest of the season play out. Gannon couldn't have done any worse for himself.
Yep.
Setting a record when it comes to penalties. I mean, that's talk about an undisciplined football team. When I look at a team that is that undisciplined, I automatically look at coaching. He didn't do himself any favors if he wants to keep his job this year, right?
Yeah, well, 100%. Well, I first want to start off by saying, I cut my wrist and black my eyes, man. Emo Mike is back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, honestly, here's the thing. Like, you've laid it out perfectly. And in terms of like how this game went, it's just the Arizona Cardinals right now are in a very, very interesting situation. And I don't want to jump the gun, but like it almost kind of seems like it's written in the wall. I'm glad you brought up the 17 penalties to the 1 penalties for you guys. And I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, we were favored. I mean, some of them were a little ticky tacky, but like to see the amount of penalties that the Cardinals were actually getting, it does go to show in terms of like it's coaching, man. It almost kind of feels like there is a lack of focus on this team now. And that's one thing that Jonathan Gannon has been very, very good at in terms of keeping everybody in the locker room to believe in a message. And the message is, hey, we are close. We can still do this. But it's kind of getting to the point when you're committing 17 penalties to 1 and you're causing these penalties very, very, I guess, loosely and stupidly, because any chance the Cardinals had for any positive momentum was called back for a holding call, an illegal shift, anything like that the Arizona Cardinals went through. And it just goes to, it almost kind of feels like these players, I'm not even sure if they're fighting for one specific goal, which is to win. It almost kind of seems like they're fighting for their own personal, like I'm gonna get mine, right? I don't trust his coaching staff anymore, and it goes to show how many penalties was actually shown in this coming Sunday's game. But yeah, it almost kind of feels like the locker room is kind of starting to break apart, or at least there's a little bit of a crevices or little cracks in this locker room. But we got 7 games left. It sucks that we're November 18th, and we are here as Cardinal fans. None of us expected it, but here we are, right? The 49ers absolutely BTA, another division rival for the Cardinals, unfortunately. And let me say one thing. I know you guys travel very well, but I kid you not, it was like 5-1. It's 49ers fans to Cardinals fans in State Farm Stadium. And I even went out the night before, and I kid you not, there was a drove of 49ers fans coming from everywhere. California, New Mexico. I spoke to a few of them. I was like, I'm a Cardinals fan, hey, but we suck, So I was speaking to a few of them, but everybody were pretty positive about this game, But I never thought for a second the Cardinals were going to win this game. There was so much ahead of it. Whether it was Brock Purdy or Mac Jones, they knew what the assignment was, and that was to stay within the division. And unfortunately, the Arizona Cardinals couldn't. They ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into a team that wanted it more. But I guess if we want to speak some sort of positive, Jacoby Brissett ended up breaking the most completions in a regular season game, 47 completions. So kudos to that. Over 450 yards. Absolutely insane. Now, a lot of that came from garbage time. It is what it is, but there's not really much positive to say. The Cardinals got beat down. We are 3-7. We're 0-4 in the division. We're now starting to think of the draft at this point.
Mike, I'm awfully interested here. This is a unique situation where you have 5 consecutive losses by a total of 13 points among those 5 games. Within those 5 games were 2 losses to the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. The last time you played the Niners, you lose by 1. The last time you played the Seahawks, you lose by 3. Then in back-to-back weeks, score 22 in both, which is just interesting, and allow 41 plus in both. So you go from those 2 games about a month and a half ago, they're awfully close right down to the wire. Now you're getting doubled up, allowing over 40 here. So what do you think has been the biggest change from then to now? Because in back-to-back weeks, much like the last time you played these 2 teams, it's just a completely different storyline here.
Yeah, I don't think injuries helped. I think not having Mack Wilson Sr. there is a big deal. We're leaning a lot on Cody Simon, which to his own right, he's playing pretty solid. But I mean, he's not Mack Wilson Sr. in the middle of the defense. There's a lot of fluctuation of cornerbacks, although we all want Max Melton to be that guy. He's still struggling time and time again. Will Johnson, unfortunately, hasn't been able to stay healthy. Garrett Williams seemed to have gotten hurt in this game as well. It's just, it's a lot of injuries, and not just that, the competition as well. Like, we're not lying when we said this is the one of the best and toughest divisions, obviously not including the Cardinals, but this is one of the best divisions, and they play hard-nosed football. This is a tough division. So I feel like the Cardinals rode this high about, oh, we're so close. But like when the dam broke, you fought really good competition and the Seahawks as well as the 49ers. You weren't able to withstand them, and it's clear cut. The Cardinals are not meant to play in this division. Like, they don't have the talent to withstand, especially with all the injuries. But it's an accumulation of a lot of different things. The defense hasn't been playing as great. Injuries, in competition. The NFC West is that damn good. So it's an accumulation of a lot of things.
Jesse, talk to me a little bit about what you saw from Brock Purdy here. I mean, you come back and there's so many questions. They've done so well without him, and Mac Jones has played exceptionally well. To come back, score 41 points, have the completion percentage that he did, score 3 touchdowns, and you mentioned it earlier, you can't overlook Arizona. This division is as good as it gets in the sport, and last time out, you win by a point. To dominate in this one, in his game back, what did you make of the overall performance here?
No, Brock Purdy played a really good football game. He definitely did. Did he do anything special? No, I'm not going to say that. But I always felt like Brock Purdy was in this impossible situation, because if he had come back last week against the Rams and it looked bad, it would have been one of those things where everybody dunked on him. Even this week, it's like, well, it's just the Cardinals, so he doesn't get any credit if he plays well. Like, it was a really tough situation for him to be in. I do think that Shanahan dialed up a lot of easy passes for him. He certainly hit them. There are some things, though, that just continue to be concerning patterns to me when it comes to Brock Purdy. A lot of people said they didn't like Mac Jones because they felt like he held onto the ball too long. That's not the case at all. There's no statistic to back that up. That's a feeling that people are getting. Brock Purdy held the ball for 3.3 seconds. And every year that he's been in the NFL, he's held the ball longer and longer. That's going to result in sacks, especially with this offensive line if he continues to do that. And even in a game where he played clean statistically, there were a couple plays that for no reason, he just does this thing where it's like an early down, no need for it. He breaks contain and he just goes YOLO, throwing it into triple coverage, and should have been picked a couple times. Every quarterback does this. I understand that every quarterback could have interceptions, so I'm not trying to nitpick Brock Purdy. It's just that Brock Purdy is not the Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes and these elite guys that can overcome that on a regular basis. The reason people like Brock Purdy is because they look at him as this cerebral quarterback who wins with his mind and wins pre-snap and, knows the coverages post-snap and is able to turn his back to the defense and make good decisions and is highly accurate, and they compare him to Drew Brees and all these things, but that's not who he is. He plays with this YOLO energy sometimes that really gets him into trouble, and it's why he hadn't played a clean game for nearly a year. Now, statistically, he did that, but he has to continue to improve on those things. He cannot just go out there, force the ball into triple coverage for absolutely no reason. Again, if it's not every interception or near interception is created equally, a lot of guys will get an interception on a 4th down where it's an arm punt. They just, hey, I'm giving my guy a chance. It got picked off. Who cares? That's very different than throwing a pick after breaking containment when you can easily throw the ball away on 1st down because you want to throw it into double and triple coverage for God knows what reason. It just doesn't make any sense. So those are the things that concern me. But statistically, for the most part, the throw to Kittle was phenomenal. First game back. I mean, he's coming back 10 games into a season, hasn't played for most of the year. He played well.
First game back, big W for the San Francisco 49ers, who are right there, 7-4, just behind the Seattle Seahawks. And of course, Brock Purdy will look to continue his good start off the injury here on Monday Night Football next week against the Carolina Panthers. We'll talk about that on the back half of the episode. Let's transition from one divisional battle to another. And this game, man, did it feel like a mid-November playoff game? And it has you thinking that game, week 16 in December, could very well be not only for the division, but perhaps for the 1 seed. Whose division? Rams division. Despite picking off Sam Darnold 4 times, they only win this one by 2. But it doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 100. A win is a win. The Rams are going to take this one no matter how they can get it against a defense like the Seattle Seahawks, and they wound up taking it this time at home in week 11, 21-19. This game, I think we learned a lot about both these teams. And I think the easy thing that we learned is both these teams right now have an argument to be the best team in the NFL. And if it came down to this game, maybe the Rams are 1, Seahawks are 2, and you throw the Eagles right in the mix there. But what we saw in this game, I think, is exactly what we expected. 2 of the best teams in the NFL going toe-to-toe. The result wound up indicating that. I think the big takeaway here, too, if you're a Seattle fan, beyond the Rams winning, is the fact that, yes, they won, but this defense is beyond for real. The Rams win the football game, but only have 249 total yards. Matt Stafford, 15 to 28, 132 touchdowns. Unfortunately, in this game, it just felt like they could not overcome 4 total interceptions, and they almost did overcome that with a game-winning attempt at the end to somehow win that football game. So a wild interdivisional battle. The Rams now sit alone at the top of the division at 8-2. Seattle bumps down a spot at 7-3. Jake, I'll start with you here. You've been saying it all year, and I know you've been getting some flack, right? Oh, Jake's a homer. Rams best team in the league. Jake's a homer. Well, I don't think anybody's saying that right now, Jake, because I think you look around the league and you look around the media pundits, and I think the majority of them have the Rams right now at number 1 in the NFL, and this game certainly helped put that up at the top of the list there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And another thing that I got a lot of flack for was my confidence in the DB room, saying this is the best DB room in the division, and I still stand by that. I think you see, even though Ahkello Witherspoon was out, he's been out, Emmanuel Forbes stepped up, and he had the biggest responsibility of the entire defense. He had to guard the hottest receiver in the game in JSN, and he did a great job holding him to 1.5 yards per matchup. He had 20 matchups against JSN. That's the most any cornerback has gone up against JSN all year. And this is a guy that was chewed up and spit out in Washington. Dan Quinn, who I have a lot of respect for, did not give him a chance to play for that organization. He's gone. Rams pick him up last year via the waivers, and they've turned him into an absolute stud. And then, oh, by the way, Kobe Durant with the interception in this game. He plays well. Darius Williams plays well. All the while, Quentin Lake goes down with an elbow injury that unfortunately could sideline him for the rest of the year. So that is the bummer about this game. But I thought that the secondary was great. I thought the pressure up front was great. Seattle has not allowed teams to pressure Darnold the way the Rams pressured him in this game. 20 pressures in this one, 7 of which came from Jared Verse. And I just thought the defense was just absolutely stellar. I don't care about the yards. It's like I told you guys, I felt like this game would be similar to the Vikings game last year with Darnold, where it's like, yeah, let Justin Jefferson get 130 yards. As long as we, limit the explosive plays, it's going to be okay. And that's what the Rams did. You talk about the most explosive passing attack in the game, and the Rams completely shut them out of the end zone. The only touchdown they were able to score was via the ground with Kenneth Walker. So a lot of credit to the Seahawks, because I thought on the other side, I thought their defense was 100% legit. I think that the Rams took precaution with Matthew Stafford. I think that's why his stat line looks so pedestrian. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They didn't turn the ball over. Obviously, Puka Nacua fumbled. He's never fumbled before. Great knockout there. But Puka Nacua fumbled. But aside from that, Stafford took care of the football. It wasn't pretty, but the Rams got the win. I think the biggest takeaway I had in this one by far, besides the fact they're good enough to find a way to win, just like Seattle was good enough to almost win after 4 interceptions being thrown, the big thing for me was Kyren Williams. He was having a lot of success. Even some explosive plays that we don't really normally see from him, and really was giving Seattle the business. 12 carries, 91 yards, and yet Sean McVay just couldn't get out of his way and kept forcing Blake Corum in there. And, you guys know how pissed Blake Corum made me when I was at the game with you guys. Yep. I was not happy. I was very frustrated because I felt like this was a game where if Kyren Williams needed to go for 150 or if he needed to go for 200, I know that sounds crazy, but I felt like he was going to do it. Some guys, they wake up and they see it and everything just comes together. This was the Kyren Williams game. This game should have been put away, and it wasn't, because I think Sean McVay got way too cute with the offense. And then, of course, on those 4th down plays, you got to credit Seattle. but also Stafford's not making the throws that he's made all year. So that's the thing. When you don't have the best, I didn't think Stafford looked the best. I still think he's the MVP of the league, but I don't think he had his best game. Devontae Adams was clearly still dealing with that oblique. I just felt like they should have run it more. Only 12 carries for 91 yards and a 21-19 win is insane to me, for Kyron. But, hats off to Seattle. I think we're staring a three matchup season yet again. This happened when the Rams were in St. Louis, the Sean McDonald game, and of course, they go to the playoffs and everything. I think we're staring it right in our faces. Is it the NFC title game? Is it the NFC divisional game? I don't know, but I think these two teams are destined to face each other 3 times. I think the big thing here is I know people are going to sour on Sam Darnold now, but he had a bad game. It happens. Maybe the Rams are in his head, maybe they're not. But I think the big thing here is you just don't want to put too much emphasis on this one, where all of a sudden you're just discrediting Sam Darnold's entire season, everything he's ever accomplished, kind of like what we did in the postseason. This Seattle team is still very dangerous, and I think they're going to win when they play the Rams on Thursday night. So that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Hey, Jake, I didn't wear the sunglasses because the 49ers won. I'm wearing them because Sam Darnold threw 4 picks. So, I'm just going to throw that out there. Talk about victory lapping on this one, huh?
He's having a dark season, folks. He's having a dark season when he has to celebrate a quarterback take rather than celebrate his team's win. It's gone hella sideways.
Jesse, I thought you were going to throw in there too, by the way, that Geno looked less than pedestrian on primetime football as well.
Oh yeah, listen, the Geno argument's already been won a long time ago. Now I'm seeing my sights set on Sam Darnold, baby. I love it.
He hates every Seahawks score. He's coming after all of them. He's coming after Jalen Milroe. He's like, I know he'll start someday, so he's dead to me too.
Yeah, Milroe's going to be a bust. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
Brandon, I know there's nothing I can say to you or the 12s to make you feel better about this loss, because at the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and you relinquish the top spot here in the NFC West. But you go up against maybe the best team in the NFL right now. You have 14 more first downs. You have 16 more minutes of time of possession, nearly 30 more plays. You nearly double them in terms of total yardage. Sam Darnold has his worst game as a Seahawk with 4 picks, and you still have an opportunity at the final play to win the football game. I know it's a loss, but is there part of you and part of the Seahawks nation here that feels walking away from this, man, like this team is more legit than maybe we even thought? And when we're talking about going up against the best of the best, this team has what it takes to go the distance this upcoming, as we get into January and so on here.
I think in general terms, I think that there's definitely the Sam Darnold, as much as it's virulent between me and Jesse on this one in this debate, it's the same thing that you have, I think, existing out there in the general fan base that'll kind of take over whatever you might take as far as a moral victory, in this one. I think that I understand why the Sam Darnold thing is going to come up as far as, well, this proves this. I think it's kind of cherry picking a little bit when you just ignore, like Jake said, everything else he's done to the point of this season, where he's been at times an MVP candidate, where now suddenly he just sucks. Maybe it's like Jake said, maybe they have the kryptonite there with the Rams. Maybe it is true that just you get him in the big moments and he's going to fail. We'll see with time, I think. I don't think that that's the case. I think that there's a lot to unpack here, but it is really about the Sam Darnold discussion and whether or not there is this existing in him. I don't think it is the case. He's got to clean things up. It's a bad day. I'm not going to overlook that in any way. I will say that the play calling and the approach against the Rams in this game was a little bit of a strange one for me throughout the whole day, not just partially throughout. And it did contribute to what was going on. It contributed to the 20 pressures that Jake talked about. And that is that the Rams, like the Seahawks defense, run a lighter box. What they do with that then is they drop more guys into coverage, 7 guys into coverage pretty consistently. Seattle does the same thing. What you do then stylistically is go up against those light boxes with a heavy run, and you attack with short passing. The 49ers in the 2 games against the Rams this year put the blueprint on tape for how you attack this Rams defense. And it's not throwing the ball down the field. It's not 7-step drops. It's not trying to take your chunk plays. But for some reason, Clint Kubiak completely ignored this whole part of what was right there on tape to be seen and understood, and decided not to stay as consistent with the run game, to get pass happy, and to try to throw the ball down the field. I'm not saying this excuses Sam's day by any measure, but it was a contributor to what you saw out there. And part of why I say I don't think this is something you see with him consistently going down the line. I, like Jake, see this as being a potential, triple rematch on this through this season. I think that Sam is going to prove these doubters wrong. I think it was a bad game, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm covering up on that part of it. And it was tremendous to watch a defense do what they did against Stafford, which was get pressure on a guy that gets the ball out of his hands so quickly. And other than a run here, a run there, they did a pretty good job in stopping the run. So you feel really good about that. You still had a chance even with the 4 interceptions. I think that is one of the big markers here that this is a great team, that you can overcome that and still be that close on the road against a great Rams team. But I got to say, I just feel like the jump on this one to say that this proves Sam Darnold is a pumpkin now is, I think it's going to be proven wrong long term. I still do.
He's always been a pumpkin. It's not that he's a pumpkin now. He's always been a pumpkin.
How is he a pumpkin as an MVP candidate through more than half the year? And it's like, okay,
listen,
you're going to jump in right now.
We're talking about a turnover machine in college. We're talking about a turnover machine throughout his whole career. He has a good season and a half, and every time he plays in a big game, he turns back into a turnover machine. The guy just turns the ball over when they need it the most. He's always been that. He'll always be that, in my opinion.
He wasn't a turnover machine last year.
He was
the start. Well, here's the interesting thing, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Brandon. Since the start of 2024, Sam Darnold 21-4 against everyone not named the LA Rams. 0-3 against the LA Rams, and we know how pivotal that Week 16 game is going to be. I mean, the way I'm looking at it right now, it's going to come down to Philly, LA, and your Seahawks, and that game very likely could be the difference between the 1 seed and maybe the 5 seed, depending on how things go. You're looking at Darnold's performance in this, and he's been terrific all the way up until this point. You mentioned it, an MVP candidate. He has been extraordinary. 4 picks in this big spot. You know he hasn't been great against the Rams. What is it that kind of allows you to think in the next one, this isn't going to be the case yet again?
Because rather than being really fooled by coverages or pre-snap what he's seeing from the Rams, what you see pretty consistently in most of these plays is Sam trying to do too much. Him in a play where he should be throwing it away or using his legs, or just not taking take the sack. The stunt wins instantaneously off Byron Young off the edge to the inside. Nothing you can do about it. Your lineman blew his block. You just sometimes got to take a sack. And I think that that's stuff that you can correct in a quarterback versus quarterbacks that can't process on a football field. That's where I think this is all coming from when you backtrack, at least in this particular game, where all these interceptions were coming from. He's just trying to do too much. And I think as a coach, you can come to him, a good coach can come to a quarterback and say, okay, look, you get to that moment where you're late in the play, you're into that 3-second moment in the play, you got to go throw it away, use your legs. We got to have you eliminate this improvisation, trying to throw it down the field or trying to do too much thing that's kind of existing here in what you're doing.
And lastly, if you could just expand on it, because this defense here, they pitched 2 shutout quarters, a 7-point second half. The first quarter really allowed the Rams to have a cushion to win this football game when it was all said and done. But this defense is just off the charts. And it feels like if Sam Darnold can have a pedestrian game in some of these outings, they're going to wind up winning more often than not. So what do you make of this defense and the confidence you have in them moving forward when it starts getting into these crunch time situations here?
They're every bit as legit as we've kind of talked about and discussed here, in their ability to be one of the best in the sport, if not the best in the sport when it's all said and done. We reach the end of the year. They can create pressure. They can stop the run. They can get turnovers and cover it up on the back end. They can confuse quarterbacks. I think they caught Stafford a couple times in this game, unsure about exactly what he was seeing. But they are legit all the way down the board, and they're in relatively good enough health here where they can maintain this down the line, and that should be something this team leans on. At the end of the day, you put your assets and resources on this team into the defense. That's where the money's put. That's where the draft picks are at. They got to kind of carry the day, and the offense needs to realize this with this. This is part of the Sam Darnold education here to say, look, you're a team driven by defense, great special teams. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be balanced. You don't have to do Superman stuff here for us to go out there and win. And I would say even to go win championships, there's a pathway for a quarterback to operate when he's got this much good around him to still get the ultimate success.
Jesse, I'll just give you a minute here because you have been more vocally outspoken on Sam Darnold than maybe anybody. And I think, I go back to watching the game Sunday. I looked down on my phone and Jesse wasted no time sending over a message saying, how good is Sam Darnold here, right? So on the contrary here, where I understand where Brandon's coming from, you're looking at this. Are you watching Sunday thinking, yeah, this is what I expected here?
Listen, I actually picked the Seahawks to win this game. I said, clearly Matthew Stafford is the better quarterback. I just felt like Seattle was really on a heater. And I was back and forth. I really couldn't fully decide. I was like, is this the right take? Is this the right, the wrong pick? What's going on? I just knew that these teams were very close roster wise. I didn't expect Sam Darnold to play that way. I'll just say this, we came into this season talking about Sam Darnold, and I said I wasn't high on him. It's not like I'm just all of a sudden circling the wagons like, hey, Sam Darnold's not, like, I've had this take for a long time. And last year, or this offseason, when we talked about Sam Darnold and we talked about that game against Detroit and we talked about that game against the Rams, a lot of excuses were made. Oh, well, the offensive line just wasn't there. And, it wasn't his fault. The offensive line fell apart and Kubiak made him pass too much. It's like, okay, well, now the offensive line was there. Did he pass too much this game? Was the game plan not good? Like, what was it that caused this to happen? And I want to address one more thing, because Elena brings up a good point. Says, Josh Allen, he knows I'm a Josh Allen guy. Josh Allen and Lamar can't get it done in big games. Stop cherry picking. Listen, Lamar has his own issues in big games. There's no doubt about it. But this is not about wins and losses. This is about how you play as an individual. Josh Allen, statistically speaking, might be the best playoff quarterback of all time. Josh Allen delivers game in and game out in the playoffs. His team doesn't win, but when you look at what he does in the playoffs as an individual and you look at what he does in those big spots, he absolutely delivers in those games. They're not losing because of Josh Allen. They lost this game because of Sam Darnold. Like, you can say, hey, they still had a chance to win at the end. That defense kept them in it. The run game was pretty efficient. If Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over 4 times, they win that game. They do. So, it is what it is. We'll see. I mean, listen, Sam Darnold easily can come in and play well the rest of the year, play well in the playoffs, and I'll say that I'm wrong. But right now, there's no reason to backtrack on what I said. And coming into this game, it was like, oh, man, the victory laps on Sam Darnold in the chat was, oh, Jesse, you're the only one that's still hating. You better come around. It's like, oh, okay, word. Then should I come around after that game? Absolutely not. Let's see it. Let's see how it plays out here.
Well, I think regardless of what you think of Sam Darnold, you'll probably be able to come around him after week 12. They're going up against the 1-9 Tennessee Titans, a perfect bounce back spot for the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, Jake's Rams going up against a Bucs team that my Bills just put a little bit of a pounding on in the second half. So maybe they're looking to get back into the thick of things. Who knows? We could have another switch at the top of the NFC West this upcoming week when it's all said and done. Actually, no, we can't, because they have the tiebreaker. So I'm talking out of my ass here. But regardless, what we saw on Sunday was an incredible matchup between two teams. And I think you guys now that could very easily see each other for a third time in the postseason. And all I know is I cannot wait for about a month from now where these two teams go toe to toe in what will feel like a playoff game in week 16. So an awesome week 11 in the books. We'll pivot to week 12 here in just a second. Before we do, let's go ahead and give a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire. They have everything you need to cover your fantasy football and betting needs. One of my favorite tools over on RotoWire is their NFL odds tool. What you can do on here is compare all of the major sports books side by side in one spot. That way you get the best bang for your buck, the best value on the lines. Week 12 kicks off this upcoming week with my Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. And you can see right here, you can get the best number on the Texans over at MGM. You can get the best number on the Bills over at BetRivers. And you can do this with all of the games on your screen here using one of the premium features on RotoWire. That's just one of the many premium features on RotoWire that you can take advantage of with a 15% off discount using the promo code RTS. Click the link in the description below. Sign up for a premium subscription. Use the promo code RTS. You will get a 15% discount. While you're down there, check out our friends over at Swivel as well. They are your creator hub, your one-stop shop for your favorite creators. One of my favorite creators, he goes by the name of Jake Ellenbog, and I click on his account here, boom, I'm covered. I got all of Jake's YouTube videos. I got all of his Instagram posts. I got all of his tweets, breaking news from us right here at the NFC West Roundtable, TikToks, you name it, all in one spot. You can do this with all of your favorite creators. So check out Swivel down below as well. And also, while you're down there, you're already doing a bunch of things. Why not do one more thing and check out our friends over at Sleeper? Thursday Night Football, like I mentioned, my Buffalo Bills are in action. I crafted up a sleeper slip for you. Here's how I think it's going to go down. Khalil Shakir shut down by Tampa Bay and Todd Bowles on Sunday. I think he gets back on track. More than 4.5 receptions in that football game. Plus, Houston's pass defense is incredible. And if you watch any Bills football, Joe Brady loves to throw about 7 to 10 screens to Khalil Shakir. So you can bank on that one. James Cook to get in the end zone, and Keon Coleman, if he's out there, less than 2.5 receptions on Thursday night. If you want to tell that one, or of course create your own, you can do so by signing up for Sleeper today. Link in the description below. Create an account, and once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry to use on Thursday Night Football, any of the games in Week 12, NBA, NHL, you name it. Once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below today. All right, Week 11, where it doesn't get much better than what we had here. 2 interdivisional battles, and now we get back to these teams spreading out beyond the division, taking on some good opponents and some bad opponents. And we'll start with one of the teams that's a really good team taking on, let's face it, a pretty bad team. Let's start with the Seattle Seahawks, who we just discussed. And as I mentioned, they are primed for a bounce back spot here in Week 12, taking out a Tennessee Titans team that has fought hard in several football games this year, including this past weekend, but just not able to get W's. And I got a feeling that the majority of the panel here probably thinks they're not going to get a W in this one. Seahawks 7-3, Titans 1-9. Hawks on the road in that early 1 p.m. Eastern window. So maybe that's a slight advantage here for Tennessee. I want to know what you guys think. Mike, I'll start with you here. Hawks, they lose a game that I'm guessing they wish they could have had back, obviously, because of how things went right and the little things that didn't go right wound up doing them in. So you go into this one, are they going to take all that frustration out on Tennessee here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like they kind of have to. I mean, I feel like right now they feel like they should be at the top of the division, and rightfully so. They are the best 2 teams in the NFC West right now. Like, they are playing that darn good. But yeah, I think when it comes down to it, like you got a team like Seattle that's primed for a deep playoff push, and then you got the Titans over there that are rebuilding and potentially going to get that first overall pick. Let's just night and day difference. I don't really want to spend too much time on this. They're going to beat them down. I feel like they're going to take their frustration of what happened versus the Rams on them. It's going to be like a 33 to like I would say 6, 33-6. I got Seattle winning this game, no doubt.
Yeah, we can pretend we have some in-depth analysis here, but this feels like a layup. Jake, is it a layup? Seahawks, Tennessee.
Yes. I'm going to go with, I was trying to think about the score. I'm going to go 44-6, Seattle.
Wow.
I feel bad for Cam Ward. I think he's got a lot of talent. I just think that it's just, you could probably see tumbleweeds all over the place. I mean, that's Tennessee in a nutshell. Calvin Ridley snapped his ankle. I mean, it's just not great over there.
Maybe the most forgotten about number 1 overall pick season when it's all said and done. I mean, you don't even hear anything. I mean, granted, you're 1-9. You're not supposed to hear much about a team that's 1-9, but you forget half the time the number 1 overall pick is playing on that team.
He makes a few wow throws every single game, and no one watches them. So it's like, it's like, oh yeah, Cam Ward didn't help me in fantasy, or well, you're probably not starting him in fantasy, but you know what I mean? Like, they're just not doing anything, so no one's going to notice. But in terms of like, if you get a chance to like actually watch the all 22, he makes like 2 to 4 wow throws a game where you're like, he's really good. And it's just, it's a shame he's got nothing around him right now.
Yeah, it's the middle of November, and I got to watch the Jets in primetime and the Raiders in primetime. They might as well have thrown Cam Ward on there so I could get a peek at him under the lights. But We'll get a peek at him on Sunday afternoon against this Seahawks defense, and we saw what they were able to do against the Rams. I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to do in this game, Jesse.
Yeah, the Seattle's going to absolutely crush the Tennessee Titans. I'll go 30-10. I do have a question because it wasn't addressed, and maybe I didn't see him come back into the game. What's going on with Gray Zabel? How serious is that injury? Because that could be massive for Seattle.
Luckily, the MRI actually came out clean. So he's in that weird day-to-day place. I would estimate you're probably resting him against the Titans going, we can probably do this without you, Gray. So, but also it's one of those ones that might be a couple weeks because it's one of those, probably MCL or it's a lineman. If it was a receiver, you'd go, he can't come back. What the MCL is going to need the 4 to 6. But if it's a lineman, they're tough. They're going to try to come out after like 3 weeks or something. So he will return. That's a big boon for us.
That's great.
That was a scary moment in this game.
That looked awful.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
You see it every Sunday. It's such a common thing you see on the field, that roll up on guys' legs.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. It happens. Those guys, they can't see it coming. They can't avoid it. It's not like we'll do better footwork drills. It's like, no, it happens. It happens to everybody. It's brutal. It hurts like hell. And sometimes it tears a guy's ACL when it does happen like that.
Well, that's what Fred Warner went through that. Like like it was just friendly fire. Like he didn't even, it happened from behind. It's like, what the hell? Yeah.
It's not a guy even doing dirty stuff. It's really more often just it's a football play. Somebody loses their feet. You're in traffic and then the guy rolls up and there's no way to avoid it on an NFL field. It happens to everybody. If it's your turn, it's your turn.
Just about a week ago, I had the same mindset as you guys did. Bills with their annual or double annual bye week against the Miami Dolphins. I'm thinking that's a layup, and there's Victor Wembanyama there to slap that thing away. They got destroyed. Brandon, any possibility of Victor Wembanyama slapping away a Seahawks W over the Titans on Sunday?
Tua tapped the helmet.
He saw something that game. Tell you what.
It's as the boys tell you right now, and they're telling you true, folks. The Seattle Seahawks are going to take out a lot of anger and frustration from this past week on this Tennessee Titans team. Cam Ward's making it fun for a 1-9 team. I echo what Jake said. He's going to give you some fun games. They're worth just checking out just for what he's doing back there and trying to do as a miracle worker. But unfortunately, Seattle's going to go after them pretty fiercely. I would get this as a 41-13 game. Seattle's had 3 games this year on these kind of lesser opponents that they've put 30 points on by halftime. So this is not just a team that sort of always every week might win more games they lose and kind of eke it out. They've been lapping teams before we even get into the third quarter. I'd expect more of the same in this game.
It's almost like the NFL knew the NFC West was going to be as good as it is, because it's another week where the division is spread across every single time slot. We go from 1 p.m. Eastern to 4:05 p.m. Eastern. The Arizona Cardinals hosting a Jacksonville Jaguars team who said, let me just absolutely beat the living hell out of the LA Chargers out of nowhere this past weekend. So, Mike, you're coming off of a performance from Jacksonville that looked like one we really haven't seen from this team, or we didn't even think was possible from this team. We'll have to see if Arizona can bounce back off of their last 2 losses within the division here against a Jacksonville team that's trying to fight within their own division. Should Indianapolis slip a little bit, try to regain some ground on them, they'll look to do that against the Arizona Cardinals. Will they be able to do that against the Arizona Cardinals? Jake, who do you think takes this one, Jacksonville and Arizona?
Oh, man, Mike. Jackson. I'll say this right now. I really, really believed in the Cardinals after they put belt to ass with the Cowboys.
I did too.
And I think now they've just quit. I think that their spirit was broken against Seattle. I think the 49er game just shows that. I mean, Jacksonville just dominated the Chargers. I think they're kind of underrated. I'm going to go with Jacksonville 30-10 in this one. I think Arizona is going to be fighting for a top 5 pick. I'm out on Arizona entirely. And I've changed my opinion. I do think they should fire Jonathan Gannon. I don't think he's anything special. I think when you're in a division with Sean McVay, Mike McDonald, and Kyle Shanahan, you can't have just not anything special. They're going to have to go after a big-time culture changer and a guy that really moves mountains, and I just don't believe that Jonathan Gannon is that.
The pew, pew, pew doesn't do it for you? Pew, pew, pew. No? Okay, gotcha.
Nope. And for that reason, I'm out.
Are you still undefeated on picking the Jags this year? The weird stat
I am. I picked them to beat the Chargers. Let's freaking go!
Wow. The strangest stat on the NFC West Roundtable is that you're undefeated in picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's crazy.
Now watch the Cardinals. Like freaking Jacoby Brissett will throw 550 yards and make me look.
He will, but we'll still lose.
No, I was going to say we might as well swing it to Sunday night if that's all it takes, because Jake's got the magic touch on Jacksonville, and apparently that's going to be a unfortunate reality for Mike's Cardinals in this one. But Brandon, do you share the same sentiment as Jake? Does Jacksonville get it done on the road in this one?
Mike, you guys got Will Johnson or Wilson coming back in?
Hey, we don't really know till Wednesday or like Thursday-ish. He just keeps telling them that they're trending in the right direction. Potentially Trey Benson might come back, but like there's the 21-day window hasn't even been opened up. So like I would say right now, if you're gonna predict, I would say no.
Yeah, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to give the nod here over to the Jacksonville Jaguars on that one. I think a big part of this collapse is Jake was saying that it's just kind of the spirit of the team has just kind of left them here knowing that the season's away. But it's also these injuries at other positions, and Wilson's a warrior for the Cardinals inside. I just think that this is one where the Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of coming together. The Jacoby Myers addition to that team seems to have really helped out. Their receiving core is now Lawrence has somebody that actually can catch the ball. That helps when you got that in your receiving core. So I'm going to give them the win here, 27-13 to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Back-to-back picks for the Jags. Jesse making it a hat trick here against the Cardinals.
I think it would have been really funny if Brandon asked if those guys were healthy and Mike said, yeah, they're healthy. And he goes, cool, I'm going to pick the Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win 24-17. I think the game's probably not even that close necessarily. But it's a weird league, man. The Jaguars are a team that they were on a losing streak. They hadn't been playing well, a bunch of drops, and all of a sudden they blow out the Chargers. You could see a situation where Marvin Harrison's back and maybe Will Johnson, and all of a sudden the Cardinals are competitive. I don't know, but I'll go 24-17 Jags.
Mike, you're the last line of defense. You stand between a clean sweep on your Cardinals, or you can go for them and you can say, damn it, I still got faith. Do you have faith in this one against Jacksonville?
The faith is as gone as the chat for Cardinal fans right now. This tumbleweeds right now in this chat. Ain't no, what, 3% Cardinals fans? Oh. That's as far as faith goes for this organization right now. And I agree, Jonathan Gannon does need to get fired. You can't run it back in 2026 with the juggernauts that you have at head coaches, and then you have Jonathan Gannon there. What's up, guys? Pew pew pew. No, it can't happen. But I do believe the Cardinals probably will do better in this game compared to what they did in those last two games. Like I said, the NFC West is it's that damn good over there. And they kind of had us on a chokehold really early. I don't know if the Jacksonville Jaguars will be able to do that. Maybe they will, but I feel like the Cardinals will find a way to kind of climb back. I don't have the Cardinals winning this game. I think it's going to be a lot of points because maybe garbage time for the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to be putting points up in yardage. We've seen that Jacoby Brissett, even without Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson going for 180 plus. So I think it's going to be like 31 to like 27. No, 31-21. Jacksonville wins.
All right. You know what time it is. Sunday Night Football live from SoFi Stadium. God, I got to tell you, it's the best. If I was like in a coma and they played that, I would come out of it. So if that ever happens, just tell whoever needs to know it.
Zeba, have you guys seen the videos where they got a trend online with girlfriends where they'll start playing that song in like August or something for the boyfriend? The boyfriend will be like napping and they'll do that very same thing. They play the song and the boy, he goes like this and starts looking for the TV. And all the guys do that very same look, like all of them. And it's hilarious.
You'd catch me running out of the bathroom probably naked if my wife turned that on in the middle of March.
A couple guys do that too. A couple guys do that in the videos too. They're coming running out. They're like,
I'll tell you what, if it was a game like this one, you'd catch me running out of anywhere to turn on the TV because Sunday Night Football at SoFi is a battle of two division leaders, two juggernauts in the NFC, two teams that were in the divisional round a year ago. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've been banged up and they're off of two consecutive losses here. Maybe have Bucky Irving back this week, potentially Chris Godwin. That would help. They're 6-4. They're on the road against the 8-2 LA Rams in a game worthy of Sunday Night Football this upcoming week. Mike, I'll start with you here. Bucks, Rams, what are you making of this one? By the way, Baker Mayfield revenge game? Question mark.
Ooh. This is going to be a good game. I'm so damn excited for Sunday Night Football. Honestly, and I think it might be because of I went really heavy on my Rams or in the Rams, not my Rams, in the Rams in my fantasy. Yeah,
Freudian slip.
Fantasy football, right? So I got a lot of skin in the game. I got to win these next two games. But anyways, I digress. This is going to be a very good game. I don't think I really have anything to say in terms of like, I've been saying a lot of things about the Rams and they have not really led me astray. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, they're a good team though. I really do, but I just, the Rams are just a well put together team. I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. But for the love of God, can you stop giving the ball to freaking Blake Corum? Like, what the hell's going on?
Tell me about it.
freaking stops and then you give one attempt to Kyren and he gets that touchdown. Absolutely ludicrous. But I got the Rams winning this game. It's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a very fun game to watch. I'm going to say 33-27 Rams.
Take the ball out of Blake Corum's hands, put it in Matt Stafford, because Josh Allen just had 6 touchdowns against this very same team. Will Matthew Stafford have a successful evening against the Buccaneers on Sunday night? Jesse, who wins this one and why?
Man, I still think Bucky Irving's probably out. There's just a lot of injuries on the Bucs. You know, it's interesting because between the Bucs and the Rams, that's who I was going back and forth on, and who my Super Bowl pick for the NFC was going to be. I ended up going with the Rams. The Bucs are still going to be a dangerous team come playoff team once they are fully healthy. But right now, Rams at home, Rams rolling, Bucs a little bit banged up. I'm going to go with the Rams to win this one 33-27. However, if Baker has the ball last, watch out, because that guy comes through in the clutch repeatedly.
All you can hope for, Jake, is that, in a shootout, 4th and 2 at the 40-yard line, Todd Bowles decides to punt. That can really swing in your favor in these type of games. Brandon, what do you think about this matchup on Sunday night? Should be a fun one. Who takes it and why?
Yeah, the injuries are a heavy part of the factor here, I think, a bit. Also, I just think that the Rams are going to be able to stay with the run here a little bit more consistently. They did this last week against the Hawks, and they will find effectiveness with it against this Tampa Bay team. And then you can throw on them as well, as my Seattle team learned early on this season. So that Tampa Bay defense is not a great one. I think Baker's going to be able to move the ball. I think there's a little bit of a back and forth in this game, but I think ultimately it's the Rams' ability to run on this Buccaneers defense that helps them win out 27-21.
Man, oh man, Jake, the faith in the Rams, it's at an all-time high, and I know you're riding that high with them. Talk to me about what we're going to see on Sunday Night Football here.
Yeah, so the last time the Rams played at SoFi Stadium versus the Buccaneers, it was week 3, the year they won the Super Bowl. They beat Tom Brady, not once, but twice that year. That was the Deshaun Jackson game, 34-24. He would then go on to ask for his release not long after. Okay, so yeah, I think the Rams are going to win. They're going to score 34 again, and the Buccaneers are going to score 3 fewer from last time, so 34-21. I think this is the best time to get the Buccaneers. They're still very banged up. I think Baker Mayfield's great, but I also want to point something out. This is not a revenge game, because Baker Mayfield wanted to come back to the Rams so bad, but he just could not justify taking a backup role when he was offered starter money. But he loved it there. He owes them a lot. Like, he says it all the time. He's like, they brought my love for football back working with Sean McVay. And I credit Baker Mayfield for getting Sean McVay out of the depths and the gallows. I think people forget how traumatizing 2022 was. So yeah, definitely not a revenge game in a sense. But yeah, give me the Rams here. I'm going to go 34-21. I think that they're going to take care of business, and they're going to be in control of this game. And I think, if Tampa was healthier, I think this would be like maybe a 3-point game. It'd be close. I don't think it's going to be that close. I think the Rams will be in control, and they'll move on to 9-2.
Whoa, wait a minute. Sorry, wait, did you guys hear that? Listen a little closer. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Monday night. Oh, yes, sir. There we go.
All of them are good, man.
Tell you what, man.
Well, Thursday night is...
Thursday night's NBA theme is actually phenomenal, believe it or not. I don't know if anyone's watching that, but...
Well, the Thursday night football, what is it? Gotta let them know. Gotta let them know.
Every Thursday night, we gonna let them know. It's
how does that get you excited? Like what? Like it's just like, all right, we're just vibing.
Well, they took the bar song that Shabuzi is known for. It's the same song. I can't like every time I say that, like every Thursday night, we gonna let them know. Then I want to say, someone pull me up a double. Like, that's the way it goes to me, and I'm not thinking, ooh, I can't wait for this game when I hear that. You know what I mean? Right. But when I hear that. Dun, 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 dun. I can't wait. And I can't wait for this one. This is a sneaky good matchup because all of a sudden, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing 2 straight, Carolina, big divisional W in overtime over Atlanta. Look out. But Bryce Young, maybe the number 1 fantasy quarterback, I think it was this past week. Oh, sorry, not number 1. I forgot 17 in Buffalo exists, but he was right up there. And they're 6-5. They're fighting for a playoff spot here legitimately. And you got the San Francisco 49ers, of course, doing the same. It's the 6-5 Panthers on the road against the 7-4 49ers. So sneaky good matchup here. And I think this could wind up being a pretty damn good game. Who wins it though, Mike? Carolina, San Francisco.
This is an interesting game. It really is. I don't know. I mean, I want to believe in Bryce Young so much that I'm like, okay, you know, a short quarterback can make it. It can make it happen. I mean, obviously what we're seeing right now, he's got 6-5 on the season right now. I think this team really needs to depend on that run game. And they were doing this whole split with Chuba and Rico. What I've seen from the last 2 weeks from Rico, I don't know, like it's not as explosive as it used to be. I'm not exactly sure why, if it was the competition or they already have the tape on Rico Dowdle. I don't exactly know, but I feel like that needs to work in order for them to actually beat the 49ers. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and lean on that. I still do think that the 49ers are better than any team. Well, I guess not any team, but I think they're still a better team than the Panthers. So I'm going to lean on the 49ers in this game. It's going to be a close one. I would say 23-17. I say 49ers win this game.
Zebot, you are muted.
Why not? You don't want to hear me talk anyways, but what I was going to ask you, Monday Night Football, Niners, Carolina, who wins it and why?
Who are you asking?
Once again, why would you want to hear me talk? Because when I do talk, I don't make any damn sense. So I had said Jake, but to me, nobody heard it. So I'll say it again. Jake, Niners, Panthers, who wins it? Monday Night Football.
So since this is not in Carolina, which is where the Carolina Panthers tend to only win, I'm going to take the 49ers. I think Carolina has had a valiant effort this season, and it's a 9-team race right now in the NFC, and I don't think there's anybody else close. This is what's going to separate. Like, Carolina's probably not making the playoffs. We'll be honest with ourselves. I mean, right now, if the season ended today, Detroit wouldn't make it, right? So, give me the 49ers in a convincing win. I'm going to say 31-21. I think they'll be in control for the full game. I don't trust Carolina outside of Carolina. I think if this was in Carolina, who knows? They're a really good home team, not a good road team. Rico Dowdle, if he's able to get going, I mean, that's probably the way to do it. You saw some really good things out of Bryce Young. You also saw some really good things out of Tataroa McMillan. But I don't think they're better than the 49ers. I think they're a classic pretender. And they just have survived a little bit longer than maybe a lot of us would have anticipated. And again, give them credit, but I think they're going to fall to 6-6 and the 49ers move to 8-4 on the season. And I will say, I will come back and admit I got it wrong. I said if Mac Jones plays, they'll beat the Cardinals. If Brock Purdy plays, they'll lose to the Cardinals. That said, I still think Mac Jones is a better quarterback. And I agree with everything Jesse was saying. So I just want to make that clear because it's funny. A lot of my Rams fans out there have Seahawks fans in their mentions, like we should have won, whatever. You only won by 2. I don't. Seahawks fans like me because I've been raving about Seattle longer than most people. I have 49er fans telling me Brock Purdy's better than Matthew Stafford. That's what I have. Crazy. Somebody please come and get my cursed algorithm. I don't want it anymore.
All the time, bro. Crazy. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, that's the level of delusion I wish I had. Living life like that must be incredible because if you can believe that, then you can will yourself to believe in anything. Brandon, can you will yourself into believing the Carolina Panthers can go on the road and beat the Niners on Monday Night Football?
I do, because you can see the pathway to how they could pull it off, and that this is a team that's put so much investment into this offensive line, and it's a legit offensive line. And the 49ers, with all the injuries and no Bosa and no Warner and Mykel Williams, I mean, it's going to be a long day for those guys up front as well as they played this year to maintain, because Carolina could just not overthink this and just keep going, well, we're just run the ball 40 times today. And I don't know if the Niners will be able to stop it with that line. That being said, I think they still get the win here. I will say, just to piggyback a little bit on the back of what Jake said with this a bit, I would have a lot more confidence in this win from a Niner perspective if Mac Jones was the guy back there slinging it. I worry about this with Brock being that he might press on a couple of plays, a couple of interceptions, and that becomes the difference in this game. But aside from that, 28-24 Niners.
Oh, the love for Mac Jones still exists despite Brock Purdy balling out this past weekend. Will he ball out again Monday? Because, Jesse, you know what happens. The second Brock Purdy has one slightly bad outing, those are going to be the tweets going to be sending your way. And I know, granted, you probably wouldn't mind that because you don't mind Mac Jones. But regardless of the quarterback on Monday night, Carolina Panthers coming to town. Do your Niners win that football game?
Yeah, listen, Carolina has been a different team at home versus on the road, but they did get a big win last week on the road. And Bryce Young had arguably the best game of his career. The 49ers defense is not going to get in the way of Bryce Young or Dowdle having a good game. So that's certainly concerning. But ultimately, I think the 49ers at home, they have the experience. They know how to win these types of games. They're going to lean on those veterans. And I think that they do have enough to get it done. I am concerned about the kicking game. Eddie Pinheiro is going to be missing this game. He's been an absolute stud for the 49ers. The 49ers went from Jake Moody to Pinheiro. That was the best thing that could have happened. And now Pinheiro's out. Who knows how shaky the kicking game may be because of it. That being said, I am going to go with the 49ers to win 27-23. I do think it is a close game.
Week 11 recap in the books. Week 12 preview in the books. 1 hour on the NFC West Roundtable in the books. That can only mean one thing. Brandon, can you cue me in? Because it's time for the best part of the show. It is Super Chat time.
Just real quick.
That went long.
Over the top there.
I double pressed it.
All the people in the chat,
okay.
if you haven't already subscribed. We're trying to get to 8K. Do it, ladies and gentlemen. Smack the like button as well.
Mike, I'm glad you said that. Brandon, I'm glad you let the applause go a little longer there because I had something I wanted to say here. We just hit 1,000 new subscribers in the last month. 1,000 new subscribers in 1 month.
Brandon, play it.
Let's go.
Listen, for a channel of this size, I don't know how everybody, I don't think everybody's spending their day checking out the YouTube analytics. But 1,000 new subs in a month is absolutely insane. And it just goes to show how amazing you guys are. I was in the hospital last week with my wife waiting for our daughter to be born. And I said, you know what? In the midst of maybe the best moment of my life, I miss my NFC West fellas. Let me check in on them and see how they're doing. So I head on over to YouTube and I see 1,000 concurrent in the stream. And I'm like, man, no one does it like the NFC West. And what do you know again tonight? We just hit nearly 800 on a late Tuesday evening. And we're about to dive into 42 super chats and counting. I mean, I'm at a loss for words.
3
you
playoff
guys
teams, baby. 3 playoff teams.
Served as pancakes.
You guys are the best. And who's better than Alex Double X, who, of course, gifted us our beautiful sign that you see behind Brandon there. And I have mine. I'm waiting to maybe I'll put that in the baby's nursery so she can get a look at all of us when she wakes up. Alex is saying, can we queue up Return of the Mac for Bot's return? Well, as I was saying, the channel's doing so well. If we play Return of the Mac, they might just shut us down in real time because we're doing so well. We're on their radar, right? They're waiting to shut us down, right? They're waiting for us to slip up. But I like the idea. I love that tune, Alex, and I'm so glad that you joined us this evening. Thank you for the super chat, Freddie K. Baseman Z-Bot. Congrats on becoming a poppy. Rams D line wins game and the punt. Darnold gets exposed. Hawks scored 1 TD. Did you feel, Jake, from your perspective, that Sam Darnold was exposed? I mean, we know there's two sides of the coin here, but you were the team that goes out and forces the 4 interceptions here. So what did you kind of make of that?
So kind of similar to how like the Rams defense has been dominant this year, but when they play the 49ers, they just don't look dominant. I think that's kind of like Darnold, just kind of maybe his kryptonite is the Rams. I don't think he's exposed because I think like I've seen him do what he does against the Rams and then go and destroy other teams. But everybody has that like one team. It's weird. I don't know if they're like allergic to the jersey or like whatever it is, but like it seems like every team has that one team and every guy has that one team. If you look at the career splits, they're worse against. And maybe just for Darnold, it's against the Rams. Maybe he's cursed ever since he beat the Rams at SoFi Stadium their first year at SoFi with the New York Jets. But to be fair, last time Seattle beat the Rams, with a starting quarterback was Jared Goff. And the last time Sam Darnold beat the Rams was Jared Goff. So We threw that common denominator out the window, thank God. And I have Matthew Stafford, and you're winning those, I guess.
Your boy Goff looked pretty good on Sunday night, by the way.
I hate them. I hate them so much because I hate the Eagles more than the freaking Lions. And God forbid, freaking Dan Campbell's dumbass goes for it 5 times on 5 on fourth down. Just, I can't stand it. I hate both teams. I wanted them both to lose.
Cheeto coming in saying, congrats on being a daddy, Z-Bot. And by the way, I see so many chats in here. Thank you guys so much. The love is unbelievable. And I can't express to you guys enough how much this channel means to all of us, and the fact that you guys have reached out and had so many great things to say. It means a lot. So thank you to everyone who reached out. It's awesome. Cheeto saying, told you this would be a nice tune-up game for Brock. Yeah, he went out and played well. And then Monday night, we'll see if he can string a couple together here. But the fellas still aren't out on Mac Jones for what it's worth. So Brock's got to live up to the billing in that contract. The best YouTube username in the land. It's Bronze Sausage. You guys rock. Rams D was insane and deserves credit. 31-10 Hawks versus Titans. Go Hawks. Stay awesome, guys. Bronze, you stay awesome as well. Way to take the L in stride. You're already
right.
Dude, giving props. Love that.
Seahawks fans were great the whole week. I mean, just on my channel, I know most of them came from Brandon.
Same on the Rams side of mine. We had nothing but respectful Ram fans coming in to my end of it. So it was
just fun.
It was unusual.
Yeah, it was just fun. It wasn't like, it's like, look, I can deal with trolls, but like, I don't know. It was cool. Like just interacting.
That's cool when it's not though. When it's just people coming in just to say, hey, just enjoying this game or blah, 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 whatever they may have to say. It was to a man and a woman. It was everyone coming in was that way.
I wish more people would realize that, by the way. It's not really that fun to be like an ass. It's way more fun when you're kind of in on it with the opponents. Like I find that with the Chiefs fans too. Like it's fun. Now, granted, they have every reason to come in and be kind to me, but it's still fun nonetheless. Feed me more. Saying congrats on little bot. Glad she saw her first W. Yes, good luck, Charm. Hopefully, it took her 4 days to see a 3 rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdown performance. Took me 27 years. So we're already off to a pretty good start over here on this side. Garth coming in saying, Z-Bot, glad to have you back. Garth, great to be back. He's saying Jesse and his hipster hairline were just not up to snuff last week. I'm hoping things went well with Baby Bot's entrance into the realm. Yes, things went terrific. Thank you so much, Garth. And yeah, I saw Jesse, you didn't put your host hat on. You took your host hat off to be the host last week. Yeah. I love that.
Listen, nobody can fill in for Z-Bot. It's the golden voice. He's the best host in the business. I tried my best. It definitely was not up to snuff. I agree with Garth.
I thought the hair looked terrific. I tuned in and I said, man, I might need to rock no hat because I don't think I've ever not worn a hat ever on here. But I can't compete with Jesse's hair, so I'm just going to keep the hat on. BB Morris coming back in saying, speaking of hair, by the way, I love Emo Mike, my favorite version of him.
Appreciate it.
Got to go over the eye.
Yeah,
you got to get over the actual.
I got to grow it, man. It's just getting there.
I just see Pete Wentz with a goatee.
You'll see more. You'll see more.
That's all I see right now. Pete Wentz with a goatee.
Get a little of the Peter Parker vibes. Original Spider-Man.
Symbiote thing. Parker. Right?
Oh, yeah. The Bully Maguire.
Don't make me thrust mine. No super jack for that.
Get a little Dave Grohl action maybe in there, too. I see. I'm just a little. Okay. You're jack of all trades here, Mike. So maybe just keep it rolling. Love it.
Hell yeah. We know Mike likes good music, so there's also that, too.
It's true.
It looks like he could create good music right now. I'm waiting for him. Maybe if the Cardinals get the dub this week, we can get a little tune from Mike.
Hey, there we go.
Maybe we can have Freddie K. Baseman send us over a bass line. We'll just do a whole little song and dance on here next week.
True.
Sterum saying, very good news for the Seahawks that Zabel didn't have a serious injury. We are going to get our revenge against the Rams and the Niners. We've been talking about it all night. That Week 16 game, Seahawks Rams, is going to be something.
I think they are.
Seen.
Because I think Seattle's going to win Week 16 on a short week in Seattle.
Oh, you're already
really hungry.
Wow, jeez, jumping.
I had it before the season. I always had the Rams losing that game. But Seattle's way better than the team that I thought they were going to be, and I thought they were going to be really good.
Z-Bot, I don't want to mess your flow up, but I think Alex might have just had the best super chat I've ever seen.
Where are we at? Brand new?
Down at probably the very bottom. Yeah, he just dropped it. It's really
Let's see here. What do we
Double
got?
X Alex. Oh,
Double X Alex. Jocelyn Allen Bot. Wow. Yeah. How about that? So I'm a huge Dave Matthews guy. My wife was not in favor of Alan, David, or whatever, and probably wasn't in favor because it's a girl. So that's probably why it didn't go over very well. So Alex, you're nailing this. Josh Lynn, Elena Bott. I got to tell my wife we got to get back to it because that's the perfect name, and we might have to steal that from you if we wind up going again. Actually, by the way,
you got the first name. I get the second. Okay.
Hopefully, she didn't get your legs though.
Sheesh.
Fingers
crossed. I'm telling you, we're hoping we get the best of both worlds there and not the chicken legs.
Do you guys remember the comment when we were all hanging out and we were reading the comments and someone's like, he looks like a deep breath?
That one was tied. Someone said I look like the human version of Groot. I think, right?
That was no, Gru. It was me. That was me.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was me. Dude. But the deep breath was so funny.
I told everyone I could find that wanted to listen about that because it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And the first thing I saw when I first saw the comment, the one that made me laugh initially was, I just was not expecting his lower half of the body to look like that. Like I didn't know anybody had any expectations of the lower half of my body, but I did not deliver on that, or maybe I did in just a complete opposite way. You know?
Oh my gosh,
just the best. Dylan Sosa. Credit to the Rams, but we can all agree that Seattle was the better team. The only difference was the quarterback play. Despite 4 picks and the luckiest punt in NFL history, you lose by 2 points on the road.
Yeah, chill.
You lose credit when you say luckiest punt. That is the greatest punt I've ever seen, and Ethan does that every week. He's one of the best, and you guys have one of the best, and Michael Dixon. So that was. I'll say this,
especially the game on the line.
In some aspects, I thought Seattle was better, but at the same time, and this is where Seattle fans might not like me anymore, but understand, I still think you're a very great team. Number 2, you didn't lead at any point in the game. So, like, it's hard for me to say, you know what I mean? Like Brandon, we talked about this. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if you keep kicking field goals, that's still a win for the defense. And that's how the Rams won, essentially. So they led the entire game. It's like I have a hard time with that whole,
Well, I get where you're coming from. And to your point, I think a lot of what you guys did offensively was a bit protectionist, where Stafford sees Darnold throw an interception. You say, all I got to do is play a clean game today. That thusly kind of removed down your offensive performance in the second half because you're playing it a little bit safe.
Exactly.
I think as well, to Dylan's point, though, you remove even maybe one of those interceptions. Just, okay, you still get to 3. So you get to still throw 3 today, Sam. That's partly why we were behind in that game throughout the game, was that those interceptions were all the way through. So, that's, I think, a solid point as well to that side of it. In that was a big difference to this, I think.
That's fair.
Johnny Naylor coming in saying best roundtable group. Hat tip to the Rams who drew first blood. Looking forward to the next 2-game matchup later this season. Yeah, so Johnny's thinking this could be a triple header here. I think many of us think that could wind up happening as well. So really good start to what could be a 3-game series between these two teams when it's all said and done. Cheeto back in. Mike, you're not wrong. It was insane to see that stadium taken over by Niners fans. I couldn't have asked for a better first game to attend.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who has a big fan base, unfortunately, takes over State Farm Stadium.
Man.
Damn.
And the fans, I mean, your Cardinal fans right now with where the season's gone at this point, it's not that they're bad fans at this point if they aren't wanting to go witness that with the way the hopes have been so high coming into the year.
The Cardinals is why they need to make a marquee hire.
Well, they have 1 win on the season so far at home. So what do you really ask for, right? So yeah, it is what it is.
Tommy Huxley, aka Jesse's
Bill
burner. Go ahead,
Belichick.
No, good, no.
Ooh.
And no, I'm good.
Mike, who are you hiring right now? You're in charge. You have to make a big splash.
Man. I need to see who's available. Not
Bill
yet.
Belichick's
Yeah, he's got a thorough process. Yeah. He's got a thorough process, Jay.
Okay, all right.
Tommy
Multiple
Huxley.
interviews.
We knew the 4
Brian
interception
Callahan
game.
it is. No, okay.
Why not? Well, we knew the 4 interception game from Darnold was going to bring this out, of course. And Tommy Huxley saying, Brandon, I love you, but dude, Darnold, he ain't it. Tommy's out.
Yeah, I don't want to belay this, but every one of us has dealt with this with people in our chat. And this is on any take, not just with Darnold, but you see this in your chat that exists in times where you'll have people will give a take. You'll have a take. They'll push back against that take. You'll say, no, I think this is this. You'll be proven through on that. They go dead silent, dead silent, dead silent, dead silent. Then they get the thing that finally proves on a game like this to their point. And I'm not pushing this to you, by the way, Jesse, on this. This is general and just the chip, but now they start coming out and going, well, okay. So again, ignore all up into that point. Weren't squawking you weren't saying how good he was playing up to that point. MVP again, it's not me just saying this is a Seahawks homer. I think all of you would acknowledge through a large part of the season, well through almost halfway into it, Darnold's been an MVP candidate. So like, what is it? If he's poo-poo, how does a guy who's poo-poo become an MVP candidate? How do those two things don't go together to me? If we got to redefine, I guess, what poo-poo is in the quarterback position.
Sorry.
I think he froze.
Oh, there he is.
It's the best that he froze during
you killed
Brandon's,
Jesse.
Yeah. As Brandon's defending Darnold, it just looks like Jesse's soul
I'm still
got lost.
here. It's all right. Listen, I'm trying my best. Hang around, okay?
Ruiz.
Jesse's got
coming in.
Walmart connection right now.
Ruiz is saying Rams always play down to inferior teams. Just kidding, Jake. So I guess this is his way of saying the Seahawks, inferior team. On the scoreboard, I guess they were, but in many ways, two of the best teams in football you saw in that game.
This is one of the best teams the Rams have faced in the McVay era.
Wow.
I think they're better than the Bengals, who they beat in the Super Bowl. And I think they're better than the Patriots, who they lost to in the Super Bowl. I'm very high on Seattle. I really am.
I dig it.
Do say huge Rams win, possible sweep when Rams get to full power. Oh, not according to Jake.
Well, we're not going to see full power, I don't think. I'm bracing for the worst with Quentin Lake, that elbow. So Roger McCreary, that pickup could end up being a season saver. But I'm also really high on some of the other guys they got. Josh Wallace, he played really well, kind of throwing him into the fire. I thought he did a really nice job. And don't be surprised if Akella Witherspoon plays some star when he comes back.
Roger coming in and hitting us with a tangerine.
Let's go, Roger.
Roger saying, man, was it nice to see this win in person. There it is. Sammy was seeing the ghosts. Also got to give Ethan Evans a shout out for that punt. Ghost talk back. Listen, Darnold's got to go out and just shred these Titans up this upcoming week. Get back to basics here. Richard
6
Dow.
touchdowns.
Wow, how about this? Speaking of Darnold, how about the $14.14 here? Anyone else think Sam Darnold deserves a Madden ability where every time the defense makes a successful goal line stand, he immediately turns the ball over next possession? Wow. Creativity off the charts there from top to bottom, Richard.
Good. The 14 was good.
Well done. Feed me more. All the great quarterbacks have had 4+ INT games. He's not worried. Feed me more's not worried. He's brushing it off. Brandon, I get the sense you're not that worried either.
Let's go, Phoebe. I'm rocking with you.
Somebody in the chat said Tom Brady had 6 such games, and I'm like, he had 333 career starts. Sam has had 4 and like 83 starts. These two are not the same. Stop.
I love that. That's a great poll. HAV. I'm feeling good about a Rams Super Bowl. Hard not to right now, the way the Rams are playing.
I'm saying it. As long as they have a decent bill of health is what I said. So it sucks to lose Quentin Lake, but I mean, like, as long as Stafford stays healthy, your main, like, Puka, and all, I think they should win it all.
Edwin, but he's better known as Rampage in the Streets, saying, I kept the receipts. And hey, Brandon, remember when you kept defending Darnold when I said, just wait, the Rams will make Sam C go? So, man, we're at 2. Somebody keep track in the chat. We are at 2 as we make our way through the super chats here. Edwin saying, 4-pick Sam is the same guy from the Vikings. He will let you down.
Jeez.
It may be the case on this. We may come to find that the Rams, like Jake has said, is the kryptonite for Sam Darnold. That was not seeing ghosts, the performance we saw. He was trying to do too much. It wasn't that he was scared of seeing somebody and he just threw it into a guy's hands. It was that he was under pressure. Jake pointed to the stat of 20 pressures. Over half of his dropbacks, he was pressured. That's legit a guy in his face. On those interceptions, he's got one point where guys got him around the arms. He's got another guy where Byron Young's smacking him right in the face. That's not ghosts. That's legit, real deal pressure.
No, what was that? The Monday night game where they said he was seeing ghosts and that, like, will never leave him. He was,
it's a rookie, when he's a rookie. It's just such, there's plenty of valid criticism to throw at Sam. He's not without plenty to throw. And we very well find that some of the stuff that's being talked about in this roundtable that I don't agree with is and does become the truth. With that said, some of the criticism is a little bit, in my opinion, lazy back to what he was as a rookie. And that's the part of what I have to understand with it, is why we let sit in our mind what a guy was when he first went onto the scene in a place that was an awful environment, where every quarterback that's gone there into that environment has failed over my lifetime, pretty much. And that's the part that I don't get with this, that keeps getting mentioned up over and over again. I know it's easy to say and it's fun to say, but it's like, let's lob the true criticism and the real criticism here.
I did like Puka dancing on the grave with the ghost thing, though. That was pretty funny.
Oh, man. I think Brandon found that to be hysterical when he saw it as well. The two things that Sam Darnold can't escape. Two things he can't escape. It's the seeing ghosts and the out indefinitely mononucleosis graphic. Those are the two things that he just
my God.
I forgot about mono. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He likes to kiss the girls, man. What do you want to do?
I don't understand what is wrong. Like, Jets quarterbacks, man. Like, Mark Sanchez ran into his offensive lineman's ass. I'm pretty sure it was DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and knocked him out. The ball fell out, and then that's all he's ever known for. Not like the two times he, didn't he lead them to the AFC Championship twice?
Who, you mean this guy right here? Mark Sanchez, who's saying, I would rather throw 4 interceptions and a 2-point loss instead of getting beat down by a rival on Thanksgiving and turning the ball over in a questionable manner.
I wonder who he's talking about.
Maybe he's foreshadowing what could happen maybe next week. And
wait, somebody playing on Thanksgiving?
Is anybody playing on Thanksgiving in this division?
Another 4 interceptions, a 2-point loss. We can beat up by rival.
So.
Turn the ball over in the question.
Well, now you piqued my interest.
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but Mark, we appreciate the super chat as always. We'll go back to
week
Garth
13 and Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens. Ugh.
All right.
Garth Knight. By the way, can I give a shout out to Jake? He got hit by a Cadillac in the rain after the St. Louis Rams lost to the Hawks in the Beastquake season. He's here now with fake gold on his neck as the victor.
That's crazy that well, it wasn't a Cadillac, but it was actually a Volkswagen minivan.
They make those?
But it's so funny that, like, I don't even know how Garth even remembered that. Yeah, I was.
The internet doesn't forget.
It was after Charlie Whitehurst somehow won that game. I mean, Denari Alexander literally just had the ball go right through his hands. He was wide open. Steven Jackson couldn't do anything. And they lost. And then I went to school the next day and I got hit by a car.
I'm sorry. It's not funny. I'm sorry.
No, it's hilarious because
it is funny because he's fine, but it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I still have like pain every now and then in the ankle region of where I broke my ankle, but it's all good. I won.
Oh my god.
It's also funnier that it was a Volkswagen and not a
That's
Cadillac.
what made me laugh. I don't know why.
That was it. It's not that he got hit by a car. It's like he's a Volkswagen minivan.
Like no one would care if you got hit by like a McLaren, right? But you get hit by a Volkswagen bus.
I'll never forget it. He was going 60 around a turn, and I got hit, and I flipped a bunch of times, and landed on my backpack. And I only lived because I was making fun of people who buckle backpacks. And I did it with my friend, and I never undid it. I thought I did. I did it, and that's why I didn't break my neck.
That's awesome, dude.
And that's the main lesson I think we can take away from this. Buckle your backpack,
buckle your backpacks.
Buckle your damn backpacks.
Matt's coming in saying Jake, great Gazoo Ellenbogen, big brain is working overtime. Rams can run the slate. Bucks, Lions, not as good as once thought and beatable. Seahawks, only thing standing in the way. Gazoo equals Flintstones.
Well, I appreciate that, Matthew. I will say this. If Seattle beats the Rams, I think that's the only game that they can lose. And I think if the Rams beat Seattle, I think that's the only game that they're going to lose. So I think whoever wins that game is running the table, truthfully.
Good to see it. Two phenomenal teams. Daza coming in saying, is Darnold back on Pumpkin Watch? Wow. Brandon, you had enough of this one yet or what?
Oh, no, I get it. And he's, like I said, it's within our own fan base. So it isn't just people out there that aren't, so it's out there. It exists. You got to give it. And look, he's got to clean this up. This stuff can't continue to occur. You have control of this stuff. This isn't you getting hit at times with early pressure. Even it's just you making bad decisions here. And I think he'll correct it. But, I get it.
I'm glad you haven't had enough because saying Sam seeing ghosts and being a pumpkin, Sam's play has a theme. He's a ghost.
Again, too, it's these, you notice these people are very silent at the times when he's playing at a high level, and he's doing great throughout most of this year. So that's the other part that I've seen this from doing this for so many years. This is the kind of thing at play that you'll get where it's like, here's my opinion. Oh, quiet. And then suddenly they jump right up to the forefront the second they get an opportunity. It's like, we'll see. Let's go through the whole year and we'll see where all this lands at. But be consistent with that energy if it switches the other way too. That's all I ask.
Joe's Sam was in his Halloween bag on Sunday, apparently.
Brock isn't.
Good for you. Good for you. Well done. Joe's a believer, though, Brandon. Brock isn't half the quarterback Sam is, says Joe. He's bought in.
Let's go, Joseph.
That's not
well
true.
said.
He's
well
bought
said,
in.
Joseph.
Garth Knight back at it again. You are in an unbelievable spot, Brando. Jesse has you
unenviable.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Unenviable.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Too big of a word for me, Garth. Let me try this one again.
Jesus was like, nope, not reading that.
You are in an unenviable spot, Brando. Jesse has you hook, line, and sinker till we trade for Mac Jones. Just having a laugh. Just having a laugh. Elpris Cat, 2026. Bench, start, or trade Kyler Murray. Mike?
Trade. Oh, yeah, trade.
Trade.
No,
sure.
yeah, trade. Do what you can and try to trade him for sure.
Now, Tommy's sending in a chat. Unfortunately for me, I don't speak Spanish, so somebody's got to read this because I can't read it. I don't know what this says. Somebody want to help me out here?
Yeah. No idea what he's talking about, huh?
I still never watched that game because I was in I was in Santa Clara for that game.
It was the worst loss.
You have to go back and watch TD's reaction, though. I haven't had a chance to see that game. I got to see how he enjoyed it. Yeah.
He was probably tapping the helmet and seeing something. I mean, what he saw was probably the worst loss in the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era. It's up there with the, I think, 12-9 loss to Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know what that was.
Oh my God. Losing to Urban Meyer. Didn't he only have like 2 wins?
Yes. It was like one of the most embarrassing losses of all time. I don't know how you have that loss. So you win 40-9 over Carolina. You have the best game of the year against Kansas City. You put up 44 and 6 touchdowns with Josh Allen against Tampa Bay, and sandwiched between that, you get destroyed by a team that you'd beaten in 18 or what is Josh Allen? I can't even remember. That's how insane it is. But they had won 7 straight going into that one. And apparently I got to keep talking about this because Prop is saying Z-Bot must be eager to talk about that Bills-Fins game because he wasn't here last week. So I figured I'd bring it up. Don't worry, Z-Bot. I got you, brother. Listen, they played another team from Florida, by the way, on Sunday, if you want to talk about that game. That game was a little bit better. I got to say, listen.
Spending money to rub it in Z-Bot's face.
Yeah. I got to tell you, the old adage, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. I mean, Josh Allen was on a Tom Brady type trajectory, and I would know because Tom Brady was 32-3 against the Buffalo Bills during his time in the AFC East, and Josh Allen was, I believe, going into that game 18-2 against the Miami Dolphins. So good for them. You know, they had that dead cat bounce firing their GM, and they won again against the Commanders. So maybe, according to John Gruden, they're going to run the table and make the playoffs. So I'll keep an eye on TD's channel because that would be all time if they wind up doing that. Prop is back in, by the way, saying Rams-Hawks going to get all the buzz just for the Niners to sneak up and either ruin the Hawks season in Week 18 or upset the Rams at Levi South in the playoffs.
That's not happening.
The thing about a zombie, man, is you can run faster, but if you trip, you're effed.
Yeah. Thinking outside the box there, though, Prop, I like it. Either way, I mean, we're going to have some incredible finishes in this division, just no matter how it goes down.
That's the one thing they're holding on hope to. Not Jesse, because he's not delusional, but I've seen that a lot today where it's like, ooh, we're coming for you. It's like, what?
Magic of Brock. Magic of Brock.
Make sure you make the playoffs first before you start. Yeah, come on. You don't want the smoke again. NFC title game. You don't want the smoke.
No,
please. Like
simple as that. Simple as that. Cass is saying, can we have a vote to have a 49ers host who actually supports the team?
Oh wow! Gosh, he almost made me feel bad there.
You guys want to vote on it?
Yeah.
Good job, Jim. Well, maybe, you did such a great job hosting. I could just do the Niners, I guess. I mean, you guys don't want me to
be
do
the
that.
Niner guy, and I'll be the host. That'll be perfect.
Right.
And you get to talk about Josh Allen the whole time, and he's your favorite quarterback. So it works perfectly.
I think the real question: do you want somebody who supports the team and lies, or somebody that supports the team and tells the truth?
They want lies.
I think a lot of people want lies.
They want lies.
I think that's
They want lies.
Well, I ain't getting that here.
A lot of 49er
Definitely want
fans,
lies.
they want Brock Purdy delusion propaganda from certain somebody who doesn't know football.
Listen, go get your lies somewhere else, okay? Not here.
Did you
Joe's
see
coming
that? Did you see that tweet, by the way? Oh, it only took Stafford to get his Avengers, and he finally got over 500 for his career. It's like, yeah, he was in dog shit Detroit his whole career.
I saw a tweet that said they had mentioned Stafford getting over 500, and one of the big Lions accounts quote tweeted and just said, "Yeah, that's our bad," and that just killed me. It just killed me.
Yeah.
It's
There's
just
still
point
some
blank.
wholesome Lions fans out there that'll just be like, "Yep, that's on us." And then there's that one dude that's like, "Oh, they got the Avengers."
Man,
I don't get this whole thing. I don't get this whole thing with the Jesse thing on this, where it's because he doesn't love Brock Purdy. He's not. What is this?
Listen, I all in the last few days, I got DMs that said I'm not Christian. I am not a happy person. The only thing I didn't get is I'm not a good father. All because I don't just support Brock Purdy blindly. It's the wildest thing in the world. These are real statements. I'm not lying. I remember in the Bible it does say thou cannot be a Christian unless you support Brock Purdy. I do remember that scripture. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm repenting for my sins, but these are actual things that have been said to me. So this does not surprise me.
Jesse,
Joseph's trolling though.
I was
he's
like,
having
Joseph's
fun
your
with
guy
it.
though.
how many?
No, Joseph's my guy.
Yeah.
Jesse, how many hats do you have? 49er hats.
I think we counted them one night. Wasn't it like 23 or something like that?
Yeah. So like, why would you have 23 49er hats if you didn't like them?
No, if you like
listen,
me, you'd have 25.
I've posted pictures of me when I was like a young kid in 49ers gear. And I will say, like, I've had this plan since before YouTube was around, that I would, make some content when YouTube came out 20 something years later, and just bag on the 49ers. And so I set this up through my whole life wearing 49er gear just for this moment. So you know how it works.
I thought it went even deeper. I thought your parents had you for the whole purpose of you creating a YouTube channel.
Good point.
Speaking of parents, I'm shocked you didn't get a DM saying you were a bad father, because I've been a father for 6 days and I had 10 people in my comments saying that I was a bad father for putting my daughter through a styrofoam table.
God.
So,
well, that doesn't make,
I'm like,
there you go.
listen, it's only
what
my
can
fourth,
you do?
it's my fourth day out here, guys. I'm still learning. I didn't know you couldn't do that. You know what I mean? I'm still learning. Prapa saying Cards are one of the worst coach teams I've ever seen. Man, Prapa's got the business for everybody tonight. In the division with Shanahan, McVay, and McDermott. Well, speaking of which, I would see that as an unacceptable. I know there's so many. Well, you got Sean McVay, Sean McDermott. There's a lot of mix out there. But I would like to see that as an unacceptable if I was a fan of them. And I think we talked about this earlier, right, Mike? Where you're in a division with just all-time coaches here, and it's tough when you don't have something similar.
Yep, agree.
Yeah,
but it's also, you can't ask coaching candidates come in and inherit a quarterback and say you're stuck with this QB or you're not going to get the best candidates. So instead of doing that, owner, let them come in and control the bus the way they see fit.
Yeah, I mean, Gannon, some things that he did, he shouldn't have allowed it to get as far as it did. And on top of that, you still got to win games, and regardless of what it is, I mean, he doesn't have a winning record. It's just, I don't want to see another winning season. I know he was tied to him. It's unfortunate, but that's the NFL. It is
what it is on that. But for the next guy,
fair
lesson to be learned, maybe.
Tommy's saying Jakey boy fears Baker. You are terrified of the Bake Show.
I love Baker, but no, I don't fear him. Not even a little bit.
Brent with a capital T at the end saying Hawks duder here. I feel conflicted. Watch Shrek, and it didn't really do anything for me. Why 4, Sam? Why 4? Why not just 3? Why 4?
Hold on, I got something for that.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Oh man, Matthew Plowden. Good evening, guys. Good evening to you, Matt. Always enjoy the roundtable. Could be interesting. Game with the Rams and the Bucks. Got 2 quarterbacks that can come up clutch. I trust our defense in the clutch, though. Rams 31, Bucks 24. I mean, Brandon, you know it. Your game against the Bucks was a shootout. My game against the Bucks, shootout, and very certainly could be one on Sunday Night Football as well this upcoming week with those two offenses. So should be one hell of a game. Space coming in. The lames aren't all that. Total frauds, just like their fans. Whose house? Hawks house. Man, I forgot that it was awesome that the Seahawks got it done on Sunday, Jake, talking a lot, the way Space is talking, right? That's what happened.
What happened to the Space that was like, oh, I respect the heck out of you, Jake, and now it's all the lames or that and frauds and whose house? Nah, I'm messing. Space is fine. You're upset. I get it. I'd be freaking furious on the other hand if you guys made that 61-yard field goal. So I get it.
Imagine. Oh my God.
I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine it. It's like, it's so funny. Someone had to remind me that Myers missed a field goal against the Rams to win a game 2 years ago or whatever. I forgot because I feel like Myers is automatic anytime he plays against the Rams. And I just go back to the time on Thursday Night Football where Greg Zuerlein hits the upright. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? How did we not win that game? So yeah, I've seen it. I was expecting it. I told everybody, like when I was sitting there, I was like, they're going to drill this thing. Especially because what went through my head, the kicking footballs this year. I was like, oh, he's going to drill the 61-yarder. Like Cam Little's hitting it from 70. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I had no faith at that point. But I also wasn't up in arms about what's his face, Rashid Shaheed laying on the ground and having them like give him the whatever. Everyone was like, he should have been down. Essentially, it should have been 0. But then I looked at the actual rules, and he gave himself up on the catch, which you can do. So called the timeout immediately. I'm a big believer in actually looking up the rules instead of complaining about something that looks like maybe it's illegal. If you go and you actually look it up, while he's catching it, he's going to the ground. He's already on the ground, gives himself up, calls the timeout. It's legal. So, yeah.
Is this illegal? It feels illegal. Shout out to my girl, Pink Pantheress. Feed Me More is coming in saying, whoa, Z-Bot, you just skipped my $5 donation. You know what, Feed Me More? I saw it and I said, I don't want to read it. No, I'm just kidding. I did not see it at all. If you could please send a chat in. Can one of you guys for me be on the lookout for that? When Feed Me More sends in a chat. Do not pay for it, by the way, Feed Me More. Just send in a normal chat. I'll get right to it. Sorry, I didn't see it. Randy coming in saying, how Randy sees it. Hawks know. Rams know who the better team is. Hawks lost.
You're just not to it yet. It's down there. It's down there. I see it. Oh. You just haven't gotten to it yet. Well, there's a $2 one. Never mind. I don't know.
That was the one.
Oh. Well, Feed Me More. Send it in regardless. I'll get to it. I'm going to Feed Me More chats. Feed Me More, and I'll get to it in just a second. Randy's saying how Randy sees it. Hawks know. Rams know who the better team is. Hawks lost by 3 yards on our worst day. No excuses. 5-star. Lock. We win the rematch. 3-yard loss. Nothing worse than a 3-yard loss on the scoreboard. It's the worst when you lose by 3 yards. HD coming. Just shitty joke. Sorry. We'll get him again next time. HD. Jake, you think the Hawks were the better team on Sunday? Well, we keep dancing around it, Jake. So what do you think?
I'm going to say no, because the better team would have been in control at some point. I think they scored 1 touchdown. The Rams scored 2. And I understand, we could talk about the yards and everything, but Brandon kind of alluded to it. The game changed, and they went more like, we're going to protect the football. And that's kind of my thing where I kind of push back on, because I keep hearing how, Seattle had the worst offensive game. Yeah, because the Rams defense. And then it's like, the Rams were bad. It's like, yeah, because of Seattle's defense. Like, that's what happens when you have 2 really good defenses. But if we want to do it that way, the Rams offense could show up next time around too. I personally think it's going to be a fun game, but I think Seattle wins the next time. That's how I feel.
Tommy Cox. I honestly felt it was unbelievable. Seattle almost came back after 4 interceptions. It was definitely different than last year when playing a contender. I mean, yeah, no question. Just from my perspective, right, Brandon, I watched my Bills play your Seahawks last year, and watching this team this year, I mean, it's just night and day, the type of contender that team is compared to last year. Crazy.
I think that's let's get that as the bottom line a little bit from what these guys are saying about who the better team was or not. The question coming into this year is Seattle ready to step forward and stand with the big dogs? And they've shown Z-Bot that they're ready to stand with the big dogs and how they played. Now they got to still overcome the Rams. They still got to take down the 49ers. There's still work to be done here, but it's a place where it does feel like progress is being made by this football team right now.
Tommy Cox.
Well, they are one of the big dogs.
No
Give
doubt.
yourself some more credit, Brandon.
That team
I'm saying we are. I'm saying we are. We had to, but we were coming into the year and unsure of that if they were ready to take that step this year. That's what I'm saying. They've taken that step. This game shows they've taken that step.
Yeah, no doubt. My Seattle Seahawks are looking good right now. Tommy Cox agrees. He's saying it's no excuse. Dan, is that Vines? Viennes? Dan Viennes. Bryce Coots. Man, that's a tongue twister. Thought Seattle didn't run their full offense. Kubiak overthought the game, but it's still no excuse. Good win, Rams. Yeah, I feel that's how you got to look at it. It's a good win.
It's one of my favorite Seahawks fans on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. It's not a excuse to Sam on this, but again, the offensive strategy here was weird with all those guys dropping into coverage and you throwing into the teeth of the defense. It made very little sense in this game, and it's part of what he's referencing there.
Dominic said, fellas, I want you to go out and get a McDouble on me. Dominic, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. If you have something you wanted to share, I know this happens a lot. I at least on my channel where someone will send something, the message doesn't go through. So if you had something you wanted to share, Dominic, feel free to share it. In fact, you did feel free to share it. Here you are sharing it yet again, saying, Brandon, you should reenact your reaction to Atlanta trading the Rams their first pick as walk-in. Also, what is the roundtable's thoughts on the traded today?
All right. We'll go. Rams on the clock. They're going to pick now. Wait, what's gone down? No, my God, no, please, Atlanta. Why? Don't do that. No, you guys, I gave him a freebie. Atlanta on the knees. What's going on? My God.
Speaking of which, I'm doing laundry today, Brandon. Guess what I pulled out of the dryer?
What'd you pull out?
That Atlanta Falcons shirt that I accidentally had in my backpack that you were gifted out in the West Coast. I don't know how I wound up with that, but it wound up in my dryer today too. So I have no clue how it went, but into my backpack, into my drying machine, and back into my hands. But I'm keeping that safe. Well, Brandon's gonna wear. I'm gonna ship it out to him for the draft.
We might, when we get into the draft season, guys, we might have to play the video when we come up to the draft. Because I'm looking pretty smart on that one. I'm gonna say in retrospect, I was mighty angry on that video.
Well, I mean, I was. You saw, I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe. I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest!" And then there were Rams fans that were complaining. They're like, "Yeah, but we have to trade all the way down in the second round." I was like, "Dude, we literally just got a first round pick for James Pierce Jr. Like, this isn't Lamar Jackson. Like when the Ravens traded up to get him, like." To get him for an edge defender who wasn't even as good as Mike Green that went in the second, that was wild.
Hey, real quick, I found it. I'm posting it here in the chat. It's listed by me, Zbot. That's what he put. Feed me more Seahawks. So if you see a chat for me, that's what he put.
Excellent. Feed me more. Thank you for getting it to me. I appreciate wanting the quarterback, Mike, but behind that O-line, you're asking him to be murdered. I would put more money into that O-line first, but that's just me.
We need a O-line. Yeah. No, I mean, he's right. I mean, make it simple as that. We definitely need O-line for sure.
Head coach too.
No doubt about it. And by the way, we were talking about the Falcons. Isn't it great that they beat the Bills and have not even sniffed a win ever since? Just wanted to put out there.
Yeah. Zeba, how do you think that makes me feel? I mean, there's a chance, the Rams are trying to be the first team ever to win the Super Bowl and get the number 1 overall pick. I think the best pick ever, I think, was the 8th, which is where they're at right now. And the Falcons, had they not beaten the Bills, could have actually been in position for that. Now it's like the worst team in the league is going to win 2 games. So I don't think the Falcons can get the number 1 pick. But
ruining more lives than one, Buffalo. Appreciate you as always. I love you. Maddie coming in saying, oops, I sent it twice. Oh, well, he did send his chat twice earlier. I saw him. Matt,
There's $2.
Sorry, but thank you very much. We owe you a super chat on the next one. So send us in a chat and we'll fill in the blank on the accidental second 1 cent. Christopher, but he's known as Sizzle in the streets. It's crazy that LA has, as of today, a number 8 pick next year. Wow, right on cue. Due to Atlanta's issues, the only team in the projected top 10 with a winning record. Wow, the rich get richer, huh?
Hey, now,
Brandon just hit a world-class eye roll. Like he just saw his own frontal cortex.
I think it's fair.
Of the year, Z-Bot. My most viewed video of the year is on a Clips channel that's Rams fans filling it up, laughing their ass off because they know. They're like, yeah, you know, huh? And like, yeah, I know where this is going. And then someone going, you don't know how this is going to go. Atlanta might actually be, no, we know where this is going. We know exactly where this is going, which is a top 5 pick by the end of the year. And they're going to get a blue chip player for a team that does not need it.
It's karma, man, because, well, not to you, but like I said, you know, the Stafford trade, when they made that trade, the Lions had no idea they'd get a 6th overall pick out of it. They got lucky. The Rams were doused in the flame of injuries. And then the Jared Goff trade, no one knew they would be that bad after going 3-1. They wouldn't win another game the rest of the year. Well, they won one more. And then the Titans got the 5th overall pick. So I think it's about time we get something out of that, I would just say.
Karma is a Falcons
play's
draft
been
pick.
pretty good.
Yeah, I love Stafford. But it was 2022 was really painful because I feel like the Lions are nowhere near as good as they are without that trade, obviously. And they got so lucky to get the 6th overall pick. It allowed them to do a lot with because they traded back. Remember, they ended up getting Gibbs, and they got Jameson Williams, and I think they got another dude as well. So, yeah.
HD. Real quick on this one. Who has a better defense, Seattle or LA, and who has the better offense? I'll give this one to Jake and Brandon real quick.
Seattle's better defense, LA's the better offense.
I have no quips against that. I mean, I think you could argue both sides. So
love it. Brandon, get that trigger figure right here because we got a purple. We got a purple coming out.
Look at that. Is that a Buccaneer?
That is
in the mouth of a panther.
Yeah.
Your eyes are not deceiving you. That is a Carolina Panther
imagery.
Eating a buck. Saying much respect to the Niners, still finding ways to win despite injury. CMC looks just as electric as I remember when he was in the black and blue. May the best team win on Monday. Keep pounding. Now that's how it's
man. The Panther fan coming through clutch, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Cordell. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Cordell. Well done. Well said. I love seeing that. We're just talking about opposing fans showing love. Doesn't get better than that. Thank you, Cordell. Garth, back in. Jake looks like the producer of Mike's boy band. Oh, yeah. That's phenomenal. Well done. Man. Mark, will the roundtable continue through the playoffs? Not only will we continue, we will get stronger. We will get better. We will evolve, Mark. It's going to be nuts in here. It's going to be insane. Okay? The snail. Gruden to the Cards. I'd be so jealous. I'd be so jealous.
Interesting.
Much more interesting than anything else you guys will probably do at the higher.
I like John Gruden, but I think it's time. Like he's done.
It's probably right.
NFL's going to give him a job just so he doesn't blow the league up with all of his court case stuff.
That's true, actually.
Jaro's he's coming in saying, look, shout out to Mike. He's a dog. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about you, Mike.
No, you're good.
Michael Wilson. Well, you're a dog too, Mike. You're a dog. You're a DAWG. You're a DAWG, Mike. Michael Wilson's a DOG.
Right. His separation numbers are insane.
Yeah,
it just makes you wonder why it took this long to use him like that.
He had a killer game on Sunday. Ricky V, super sticker from King Thanos. I love that. What was that? That's Thanos with a crown smoking a cig. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Cool. Feed me more. I hate the colors yellow and red.
Red and gold.
And it's in our division. Wow.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Feed me. Awful colors.
Great colors.
Looked pretty good on you that one time, though, Brandon. It did look pretty good on you that one time.
No, it was. I'm still traumatized.
Falk the Whiners. Oh, very well done. He's got the cat meme with a Rams Super Bowl champion hat on, saying, Rams, I'll enjoy this week on top, but this schedule is the hardest in the division moving forward. No room for losing.
Is it?
It's not easy.
You got the Bucks and Lions.
That's true. Bucks, Lions, Seahawks, 2 Cardinals games. So that's easy. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah. Chalk those up.
And then, Carolina, I think, is like the kind of the under the radar one no one's talking about. I could see them like having just a real stinker on the road against a lot of former Rams are on that team. That's a revenge game. You want to talk about revenge? got Bobby Brown, you got Nick Scott, you got Christian Roseboom. I mean, their former coordinator, well, not coordinator, but one of their coaches is Ejiro Evero. Yeah, I could see that Carolina game being a little scary.
Levi, I stand by it. C equals Luke, Rams equals Vader, Niners equals Sidious, Cards equals Baby Yoda, Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God.
ROTJ, also, what do you think Sam saw on each of those throws? I feel like he already has an answer to that question.
Luke had to have his hand cut off before he could finally master things. That's all I'm saying. So that was just Sam getting his hand cut off, a la in the Empire Strikes Back. Just doing too much. He's trying. There's plays where you've got to kill it. There's plays you got to use your legs. Sam has a weird thing that some quarterbacks do. They get hyper-focused on throwing and forgetting they can just go take a 4-yard run. And that's fine. That's a good play result. So he's just got to learn to not have to force things when he gets late into plays.
The jump throw was wild.
Yeah. Javon's coming in. He's saying the Rams were missing their third wide receiver in their top corner, and they still get it done.
Yeah, they missed. I will say that they 100% missed Tutu Atwell in this game to really stretch out the field. When Xavier Smith went down, they just didn't have anybody like that, and I noticed for sure that could have really helped them.
Michael King. What bothers me is if Stafford throws 4 picks, Hawks fans would talk about their awesome defense. Darnold throws 4 picks, and it's on Sam and not the Rams D. I think both defenses are pretty good.
I got no pushing against that. They played it well, and they played. You know, that's a part of this puzzle for sure. How good that defense is.
Butthead 45 rules. Gotta love that. Is Daniels going the RG3 path?
Hope not.
Yeah, hope not.
I hope not too. Too early to say. It all depends upon how Washington goes forward on this. They tried this offseason to try to get him some help with this, but you've got to, when he got that injury, you got to be careful with this. So.
Silence saying Josh Allen's ceiling will be forever be KC's boot. Yeah, well, that boot might be walking to Cancun when it's all said and done. The way things are looking right now. So we'll see what ends up happening when it all comes down to January here. 5-5 are the Chiefs. Crazy. Elpris, which team is more cursed? Lions, Browns, or Jets? Man, that might be a 3-way tie.
No, the Lions aren't cursed.
Jets.
They're not cursed.
Jets for sure. Tom Brady still has more wins than them since like 2020, and he hasn't even played.
Bill Belichick literally was hired and then left like the same day.
Napkin Gate. I'd rather be flying an X-Wing. And you and me both, man. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what an X-Wing is, but it sounds awesome. If you had to switch and cover another NFC West team, which team would you pick and why?
Cardinals, because I don't hate them.
Nice.
Rams for me, just because they're a smart organization that does smart things, and that's a lot funner to cover than we don't have money or we do dumb things.
Love that.
Seahawks, because I feel like their fans are the nicest to me. They're abundant and and I would
to go where he's wanted.
And I
grow in abundance.
I like the Seahawks more than the 49ers. I like the Cardinals more than all of them, but I don't know.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
I covered the Jets for a year. I couldn't do it again. I could not cover a team that has no direction.
I'll go with 49ers just because it seems like we're kind of doing this. So I'll just
I love that. Prop it back in. When our team is legit like a couple years ago, Jesse will say so. I'm the same. I still think we'd be a tricky matchup for one of these top seeds, though, and that's pretty much what the Niners are right now. They could beat anybody, but you don't necessarily look at them as a Super Bowl contender, right, Jesse?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a totally fair take.
Feed me more. It's not personal, Jesse. I just hate your fan base. That's all that.
Go, feed me.
Fair.
Feed me more saying, why'd you skip my $5 donation? Like I told you, feed me more. I just didn't feel like reading it, but we went back and found it, and we read it off again. So once again, sorry for missing that one. Have back in the building. Can we get a tribute for Rams legend Baker Mayfield? He really was a Rams legend for a week,
dude. Baker Mayfield saved my channel. Let's be honest here. Rams fans tuned out in 2022. Views were down. You got Baker Mayfield. All of a sudden, Baker Mayfield has this fan club where like all my views just started getting pumped by Baker Mayfield's little fan club. And then the Rams fans got into it. And I mean, we had like a huge turnout for the Rams Raiders Thursday night game, which was dog shit until the final 2 minutes.
Shout out to the Jake Ellenbogen YouTube channel legend Baker Mayfield. What a goat. Alex Double X. Crazy thought here. Maybe Jesse isn't actual fan. Wow, that would be nuts, Jesse. That's insane. Of a team who's won 5 Super Bowls and was actually alive in the dark ages to see them, he holds the team to a higher standard than 99% of y'all, man. Double X, always preaching.
Yep.
Always. All he does since I've known him, and I've known him for a long time now, all he does is spit facts.
Spit facts and lead me and Brandon to our seats, or else we would have wound up on the sideline coaching with McVay in that game. If it weren't for Double X.
It's a labyrinth, that stadium, Z-Bot. It's a labyrinth, I tell you. It's like a Vegas.
It's
casino.
so true.
It's like those back rooms, you know? Ever seen those videos? I had no idea where we were.
We almost ended up in a dungeon with a gimp over in the corner. It got weird, man.
Crew gets together. It gets weird. Daniel's coming in. As a Seahawks fan, I don't think we were better, but Rams also didn't look to be clearly the better team either. Looking forward to the rematch. I mean, yeah, once again, I think you just saw 2 of the best teams in the NFL, and the differential looked like that. I mean, nobody would be shocked if this was the NFC Championship.
I think either of them would beat the Eagles by 2 possessions right now.
If their offense keeps playing that way. The crazy thing is their defense is just accelerating, but they just have no offense. It's
their
odd.
offense is brutal to watch.
Garth on fire tonight. Jake, the reason I remember you getting rocked by a Buick, oh man. The reason I remember you getting rocked by a Buick in that Beastquake season is because you said it in a stream, and I thought, this cat is legit. Man, that was nuts when you got hit by that Toyota Camry. David's coming in. It's Kubiak's first year with the Hawks. He's still adjusting the offense to his players. They're not close to their ceiling yet. Watch out for 22. I think that's the key, right? You get Shaheed motor in here, Brandon. It could be a whole other level.
It's going to take time bringing on a guy halfway into the year. So I agree with David. This will take a little bit of time, but they're not at their best form yet. And it should continue to improve with time.
DVN. Anyone else catch K9 using the CMC method? Sacrifice the soul of our guard for a goal line touch. Also, F them Falcons, first Penix, now this.
Poor Penix, man. Another ACL. That's not good.
Yeah.
Bummer, man.
He's done for the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a shame.
Jeff Thistle. Problem with the division. What was it?
Well, he's got just because this is why we're saying they're gonna be the top 5 pick. He's got Cousins got rock the rest of the year. You know, it's like,
well, thank God they gave him that $100 million guaranteed. It's for moments like this, you know. Jeff Thistle. Problem with the division is too many Cali teams. 4 picks, and if not for the best punt of all time, you still lose. How's that taste, Jakey?
They won. Why would he? It tastes phenomenal, I'm sure.
Does it change the outcome? Do I get transported to the other realm in which you did win? Like, I don't.
Maybe.
I live in the world where the Rams are 8-2, so I'm good.
Not a bad world to be in. Michael's thinking there could be a world where Kubiak is the Giants' next head coach.
Anything's possible. It's hard to always say who the coaches are. They're going to rise up, but I think he's probably going to have to wait another year before he gets an opportunity like that. Tommy
Magnum. I wanted Jake to comment on what the effect will be on the Rams with the loss of Quentin Lake.
Definitely significant. He wears multiple hats. He's got every club in the bag. You're going to have to change some things around. I thought Chris Shula, I'll actually go on record saying that I think Chris Shula, this was the defining moment where he's 100% gone next year. He will be a head coach, mark my words, without a doubt. That was the showcase game. To lose Quentin Lake, they played 81 snaps on defense, and to lose him, I think he only played 32, and to just kind of figure it out on the fly was really impressive. But they are going to have to change things up. Roger McCreary isn't as big as Lake. Neither is Josh Wallace. That's why I've kind of speculated when Ahkello Witherspoon does come back, the way the corners are playing, I could see Witherspoon man the star role, but they're going to have to get creative. They always do. They got creative on the offensive side with the 13 personnel. So I trust what they do. They know what they're doing.
Feed Me More says that his dad, by the way, is part of the Baker Club. So he knows all about the diehard fan base for Baker Mayfield that Jake was alluding to earlier. Jay Von Perry closing us out saying, Jake's Rams Petty Tour, Wild Card Lions, Division Niners, NFC Championship Eagles, and then beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in Levi Stadium, aka Levi North. That probably doesn't sound too bad, Jake.
No, please no.
If that were to happen, like Brandon, I'm bummed we didn't get a chance to see part 3. But
Yeah.
if you told me I get to beat the Lions, 49ers, Eagles, and the Patriots, man, I wouldn't be a very vengeful person anymore now, would I?
That
would be
He's
a
at
dream.
least happy.
It would be funny too, because I found myself rooting for the Patriots post Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. I don't know why. I kind of like them. Sorry, Z-Bot, but I mean, I kind of like everybody in that division. That's not I don't like the Dolphins at all. I don't care for them. And then who's the other one in your division? Why is blanking? Oh, the Jets, and they caused me way too much pain covering them. So yeah, but it'd be funny because it just feels like now more than ever, it's like this Drake May over Matthew Stafford thing, and I just don't get it because I really like Drake May. But I just don't understand why he would be ahead of Stafford in any MVP race whatsoever, especially with the strength of schedule.
They just love the new shiny toy. That's pretty much what it all comes down to, I think. Yeah. Jeffrey Thistle, Pete needs to head coach college and steal Bill's girlfriend. Maybe that could be the secret sauce for Pete Carroll to get things on track.
He needs to retire
with the Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh is going to close us out saying, not sure what hurts more, my Hawks losing or Jake having a happy Sunday. Go Hawks. Mostly kidding. Jake had a happy Sunday. And
very good Sunday.
Very good Sunday. And I think went
beyond the game too. It was a fantastic Sunday. I was very happy. So
wow. Jake was winning in all facets of life, it seems like.
I was winning in all facets of life, yes.
And we were winning in all facets of life on a Tuesday evening because we got to hang out with all you wonderful people here on the NFC West Roundtable. And we hope you'll hang out with us again next week. Same time, same place, right here on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. But for tonight's episode, that is going to do it. 2 hours in the books. Can't wait to see you next week. But in the meantime, for Brandon, Jesse, Mike, and Jake, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next.